Alongside my broadcast partner, Ryan McCullough, and our producer engineer, Erwin Perez. We're coming to you live from Monett, where tonight the Cubs and the Cassville Wildcats will renew the Berry County Brawl. Please join us for the Big Baldy's Barbecue pregame show when we return after this brief timeout. You're listening to the Monett Cubs on KKBL Radio, part of the Talon Sports Network. Known for their homemade tasty sauces and their overly tender meats, Big Baldy's specializes in loaded taters and barbecue nachos. Whether you're going to the game tonight or heading home for the evening, stop by Big Baldy's, located at 814 East U.S. Highway 60 in Monett. Tonight, Monett returns home for their final regular season game. Under first-year head coach Ethan Lewis, the Cubs are 1-2 at home, and they're 2-6 overall following last week's loss at Nevada. Monett is averaging just under 13 points per contest while giving up over 29 a game. The Wildcats, under Coach Clay Weldy, they are 3-1 on the road this year and 4-4 overall after last week's home loss to Lamar. Cassville is averaging almost 25 points per game, but they're giving up almost 26 points per contest. This is a team that has scored 35 or more 4 different times, but They've surrendered 41 or more on 3 different occasions. At this time, let me bring in my broadcast partner, Ryan McCullough. Well, Ryan, it's the next chapter in this rivalry between the Cubs and the Wildcats, a rivalry that you played in. There's going to be lots of emotions on the field with it being senior night and the great rivalry. What must the Cubs do to pull an upset tonight?
They're going to need to start like they did against McDonald County, where they started the game really fast and they were able to control the clock as well. Their defense started off, get a nice stop, and they were able to get down the field and score because they got the short field. They're going to need to start the game well, limit turnovers tonight, win the turnover battle will be really big, and then also time of possession, not getting those quick 3-and-outs like they did last week against Nevada, sustaining drives, getting first downs, and finishing them when they get close.
Let's talk a little bit about the rivalry. You've been part of this. You know, emotions are high. How do you go about getting yourself calm before that game's first snap?
You want to be emotional during the game, but you want it to be controlled. So knowing how to maintain a good level of both, and you want to start the game fast, but you want to be disciplined so that way you don't let the other team get something big.
Tonight's Keys to Victory brought to you by Buchanan Funeral Home in Monett. Over the years, they've been there to help families no matter the time or the day. Reach out to Buchanan Funeral Home in Monett in your time of need. It's the Berry County Brawl, live from Burl Fowler Stadium tonight. The Farm Bureau kickoff is just 31 minutes away. When we return, we'll be joined with a special guest here in the pregame. You're listening to the Monett Cubs on KKBL, part of the Talon Sports Network. Good job. pregame show. We have a special guest with us tonight during the show. I'd like to take this time to welcome Clint Case, General Sales Manager of Talon Media, to the booth. Welcome aboard, sir.
Thank you, Benji. Thank you, Ryan and Irwin. And, we talked this morning on the morning show. I told you we'd be out here to tune in for the Berry County Brawl. What a nice game. Small town football, Benji. Last time some of these seniors may ever play on this field. This is it. Sometime, maybe the last time they ever play football next week as they go on through life and become outstanding role models in the community, wherever they may do. And, I want to come up here this evening to visit with the folks, not only listeners, but I know quite a few of the customers of ours personally that are listening. We want to say thank you from the bottom of our hearts, Talon Media, KKBL. We truly appreciate what you do. Without you, this is not possible to bring you this game tonight or any of them. And to the listeners, we surely appreciate you listening. You hear the sponsors. They're in the community with us. You know what? Why don't we drive into Springfield or Joplin? We're right here. You can get everything you need. And I'm going to individually thank every sponsor that has been here with me throughout the year. And I want to personally thank them from the bottom of my heart. They've accepted me. I wasn't the original Monett salesman. I came in. They took me in. They visited with me. Great folks. Really like the town of Monett, and look forward to seeing y'all in the future. But we'd really like to thank Mercy Hospital, an American Family Insurance, Riley Snyder, Simrise, formerly Isonova, Hydro Extrusion, Post Electric, Missouri Farm Bureau agent Lance Matlock, Big Baldy's Backwood Barbecue, as you're hearing about, the Sonic Drive-In in Monett, BFW Post 4207 here in Monett, Home Shield Pest Control, IMAC, the Walmart Supercenter in Monett, Buchanan Funeral Home, Clark Community Mental Health Center, Quick Draw Gun in Monett, Remax Sam Green, Eric Norris, your hometown State Farm agent, Wintech, Cubs Cafe, J&M Pallet Company, Friendly Tire, First State Bank of Purdy, Jimmy Mitchell Motors, Huffmaster Insurance Agency, Race Brothers, Farm and Home Supply, Coast to Coast in Monett, Freedom Bank, the Monett Times, Ken's Collision, Jack Henry, Access Family Care, and the 4 agents of Shelter Insurance, Terry DeGraff and Reed, Scott Prater, Andy Brandt, or Chris Prater, Scott Thrasher, and Andy Brandt, and Terry DeGraff and Reed. Also like to thank MFA Aurora, Trogdon Insurance, Morris Electric, Lance Phillips of Reese Nickel Real Estate, Amanda Satterley Real Estate, and Extreme Amazon Wholesalers, Elmaya and Napa. If you go out and see any of these folks, let them know that their voice was heard. So many times, they don't test us. They don't say, well, make them tell 20% off. They just want to see the return, and also to know that their support was heard for the Monett Cubs. So from myself, I'll be seeing y'all down the road, and to Benji and Ryan and Irwin, we surely appreciate what y'all have done this year, sacrificing not only your time and effort away from family, but it's a long way and a lot of time to drive to some of these towns a long ways away from here, and we surely appreciate y'all for all y'all do, and we'll see you down the road, and we'll, Cubs fans, we'll sure see you next year. Go Cubs.
Well, thank you, sir. And, Ryan and I have talked about, from week one on, there's so much that goes on behind the scenes to make this possible, and it really starts with the work that you do and the other people in the sales division to go out and visit with these people. But if it weren't for these sponsors, this broadcast and web TV, it would not be possible.
Absolutely, and it's so much more than the sales staff. Myself, Dwayne, Chad Estes that you hear with Aurora, Sammy Clapper that you hear with Cassville, and of course the Sports Rewind. He did have a few sales in this deal too. It's our admin staff, Nikki Coker, Janet Gandy, one of our faithful owners. Without them in the background, guys, this don't happen. I can go out and sell it, but they're responsible for turning it in and making everything right. I can just only do so much, and then I'm out of there. But without the listeners and the sponsors, we can't do this, and we hope to continue to do it a long time in these 3 schools of Aurora, Monett, and Cassville.
Those 3 schools, much like other communities in southwest Missouri, they take great pride in their schools, and they take great pride in their sports teams. If someone's out there listening tonight and they're thinking about becoming a new sponsor maybe in the winter or maybe next year, what can they do to reach out to you?
They can get a hold of me anytime at 417-209-7206. That's my personal cell phone. Guys, I've took phone calls from cattle farms in Wyoming at 2:30 in the morning. It don't matter. My business is to take care of you and to try to influence the community to help your business go farther. Do that. You can go by the radio station in Aurora. If you know where the post office is, we're right down the road from it. I don't know the address off the top of my head, or you just see me out in the community. I'm pretty stick outable. Heck, I stick out right now in this booth. I'm the biggest one here with the big cowboy hat on over here in the Monett booth, and I'll be out and about in the town, or you liable to see me in the cafes, because I do a lot of business in Monett myself. You know, I support the individuals that support me because my livelihood is made off the sponsors of this deal, obviously.
Absolutely.
And I sure appreciate every one of them.
I noticed this year our list of sponsorship is greater than it has been in all the years that I've worked with KKBL and KRMO and various aspects of Talon Media. And the sponsor mentions throughout the game, you know, I know one of Ryan's favorites is Sonic Drive-In. He loves first downs, and I know when he leaves,
blueberry water.
That's
that
me.
what he drinks?
I drink blueberry
Yeah.
water. But he heads to Sonic whenever he can. Now, unfortunately, when we're out on the road at a Nevada or different places, sometimes it might be hard to find a Sonic. But here in Monett, it's pretty simple. You just go about a block to the west, and you're there.
And if you get that app, half-price drinks
Absolutely.
all the time.
And I do. I absolutely do. But all of our sponsors, I mean, it's so great to do that. I drove through Monett today on my way down south. I didn't make it all the way to Cassville, but I went down south. And my wife was with me, and I pointed out businesses that support Monett Cub football as I drove down. I said, yeah, there's a sponsor, there's a sponsor, there's a sponsor. So it's great to have them. And Ryan and I would just like to say thank you for all that you do, too, and allowing us to do this on Friday nights.
Hey, there's nothing else I'd rather do than be out in the community visiting with folks. I love to talk, love to visit with folks. Little insight, I'll be bringing a new sales staff member on, and we'll be bringing her out into the community as well here in Monett. She's a Monett girl, and you'll be seeing her around, and I'm sure she'll have a little part in this Monett football. Her kids are all alum from here and have gone on to do other things. One's a firefighter in the community, if that helps anybody guess
there you
who
go.
it is. But we sure appreciate y'all. You know, without y'all are the ones that keep this deal running on the inside. Janet Gandy and the rest of the broadcast team back at the booth, MDC, and I forget the other guy's name right off the top of my head.
It's been a few weeks, so me too. I get you.
Yeah, the big feller there, he comes in and helps program and keep everything running right. Without them and y'all, this deal don't go off. But, again, with the sponsors, I can only do so much. It's their yes or no that put the bottom line to all of us and allow us to be here this Friday night.
Well, thank you for joining us here in the pregame. We're going to slip away here from some of the sponsors that you just mentioned. We'll be back with more of the Big Baldy's pregame after this timeout. Pre-game show. If you're on your way to the game, stop by Big Baldy's and fill up on great barbecue or a loaded baked potato. Big Baldy's is just off Highway 60 in Monett. Tonight's contest on Google Play or the Apple App Store, sponsored by Riley Snyder American Family Insurance, located at 811 Dairy Street in Monett. Call 417-235-6034 to receive a free quote. The Talon Sports Network covers 3 area high school football teams each and every Friday night. The Cubs right here on 95.9 FM. The Wildcats can be heard on 97.7 FM, and Aurora Hound Dogs are on AM 940. Be sure to catch Big 8 Conference football on the Talon Sports Network every week of the 2022 season. Ryan, it's hard to believe that we've entered week number 9. Where has the regular season gone?
It really has flown by, and next week starts playoff play, so.
And we'll take a look at our district setup here in just a few minutes, but let's look back to last week in the Big 8. Monett traveled to Nevada. It was all Nevada 48-7. Lamar over Cassville 41-13. East Newton, looking for their first win of the year, came up just short. Aurora beat them 12-7. Seneca remained undefeated, 28-21 victors over McDonald County. Hollister defeated Springfield Catholic on Saturday, 26-20. Mount Vernon at Marshfield, it was all Mountaineers, 44-13, and Rogersville fell to Reed Spring, 28-14. This week in the Big 8, some interesting contests. Obviously, Cassville here at Monett is a big game. Aurora at Rogersville, Nevada at Seneca, and that's a big one. Reed Spring at Mount Vernon, a huge game on the east side of the Big 8. McDonald County at East Newton, Lamar at Hollister, and Marshfield at Springfield Catholic. So really, when you take a look at that schedule, other than Burl Fowler, a lot of eyes will be on that Nevada-Seneca game down at Seneca, and also the Reed Spring at Mount Vernon. Those should be 2 really good games.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to Nevada and Seneca, that one with a lot of conference implications on it. If Nevada were to win, that would give Lamar a share with a win of the conference title, and Seneca would split it with them. But if Seneca wins, they get the conference title outright. Those are 2 teams that are probably going to meet up in the playoffs after both in different districts, so both will probably be district champions when they meet up again. Just a really good last week of football.
Yeah, some great matchups. There's one remaining undefeated team in the Big 8. That's Seneca. They're 8-0, but Lamar right behind them at 7-1. Nevada at 6-2, and then you have Cassville, McDonald County at 4-4, Monett 2-6, and East Newton 0-8. On the east side, Mount Vernon and Reed Spring both 6-2, Marshfield, Rogersville at 4-4, Hollister 3-5, Aurora 2-6, and Springfield Catholic 0-8. But when you turn the page and you look at the district, this game is huge as far as district implications go. You got West Plains, who's probably going to be the number 1 seed, and they'll receive a bye next week. But then just about anything can happen in this district. Bolivar's currently the number 2 seed. They're going to be playing Kickapoo. They're going to be hosting Kickapoo tonight. Kickapoo will be the favorite in that one. Rogersville hosts Aurora. Rogersville, the 3 seed. You look for them to win that game. Marshfield, the number 4 seed, travels to Springfield Catholic. You'd think the Blue Jays are going to win that one. McDonald County at East Newton. You'd favor the Mustangs. Monett here at Cassville. Could go either way. Hillcrest and Parkview. Now, Hillcrest is seeded 7th right behind Monett. They are 0-8 on the season, but they're playing a Parkview team that's 0-8. So they could garner their first victory tonight. So really, when you take a look at this, by the end of tonight, Monett could either be the 5 seed, the 6 seed, or the 7 seed.
So if you're Monett, you definitely want the win for that reason, is you don't want to end up with the 7 seed. West Plains will get a bye, so West Plains won't have to worry about any of the first round. So if Monett were to lose tonight and Hillcrest were to win, Monett probably looks at either playing Bolivarville or Rogersville if Rogersville was able to lead Bolivar. If they lose, but Hillcrest still loses, you're probably looking at the same situation. Or Monett could leapfrog McDonald County because of their win over them.
There's only one team in this district that has a record above 500, and that's West Plains. They're 5-3. And then there's a whole bunch of teams right in the middle. There are 3 4-4 teams in this district. So here's one thing to remember. If Monett finishes 1 position lower than McDonald County, they will leapfrog McDonald County because of their head-to-head victory. So right now, Monett, as of this minute, is actually the number 5 seed. So we'll know tomorrow morning. We do know this: Monett's going to travel.
Yes, they will be the away team in their first round. So for seniors, this could be their last time coming out on this field and last time putting on the purple jersey.
Yeah, unless they get hot and put some wins together, that could very well be the case. It is senior night tonight. They're recognizing a plethora of seniors tonight that took place in activities in the fall. Clint talked about it, the joy of playing on Friday nights could very well be their last time on this field. And, it's interesting. I think back, I'm old, but I'm not so old that I can't remember graduating from high school and wondering when you stepped off a field or a court what was going to be the next step. So an interesting time in the lives of these kids and their parents. And I'm going through that as a parent right now with both my kids out, and they played their final games. So it's bittersweet, isn't it? You were there not too long ago, Ryan.
Well, I was a senior. I didn't get senior night, though, because of COVID, and that was the COVID year. I got quarantined that week. But it was weird because they made the first game senior night because they didn't know if the season would get through, so I still got the last home game, technically.
True. You did get that last one. That year was just incredibly
weird,
different,
yes,
to say the least. Well, tonight, it's the Berry County Brawl. We're going to slip away here from some of our outstanding sponsors, and we will be back with more of the Big Baldies pregame. After this timeout, you are listening to the Monett Cubs on KKBL Radio, which is part of the Talon Sports Network. He told me, hey, make sure you mention Randall Master and Randall. They weren't on the original list that he was reading from, and he definitely didn't want to miss any of our sponsors. He'd also like to recognize Sean Baker. Sean Baker is the engineer that helps us get on each and every week, and we really appreciate that. A beautiful night for football here at Burrell Fowler, a lengthy senior night presentation, and now the Monett High School Marching Band is on the field to perform tonight's national anthem. And as always, the national anthem is brought to you by VFW Post 4207 in Monett. Some gave all, and all gave some. No one does more for veterans than VFW Post 4207. With the playing of tonight's national anthem, please join us as the Monett High School Marching Band performs here at Burrell Fowler Stadium. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight's national anthem. The national anthem brought to you by VFW Post 4207 in Monett. No one does more for veterans than VFW Post 4207. Tonight's field condition report brought to you by Hydro Extrusion, where it takes only 5% of the energy to make recycled aluminum into new. Come join the Hydro family for a rewarding career, and the field conditions could not be better. Obviously, the turf here at Burl Fowler, but a perfect night for football. Temperatures earlier in the upper 70s and lower 80s, now dropping probably into the mid to lower 70s by night's end, maybe down into the 60s here in Monett. A perfect night for football as the Wildcats and the Cubs match up here in Monett. Tonight's starting lineups brought to you by the Eric Norris State Farm Agency. Commercial, auto, home, and life, they cover it all with no mayhem. Like a good neighbor, Eric Norris State Farm is there. And Ryan, tonight being senior night, a very special opportunity for the Cubs as they will be starting seniors in every position.
Yes, they will, and they have a unique situation where they had a big senior class this year. They got a good number of them and a good amount of leaders on that team.
I'll quickly go through tonight's starting lineups for the Cubs. On offense, their quarterback, Davin Madrid. The running backs, Josh Harvey, Marcus Young, and Connor Pointer. Wide receivers, Avery Thomas and Caden Palmer, two guys that we haven't seen a whole lot of this year, but they get an opportunity to start tonight. Across the front, and we should mention these guys, they have worked hard throughout the season. Isaac Techner at one tackle, Oseel Salas at the other tackle. The guards are Jordan Thompson and Keller Snodgrass. The center is Hunter Lanning. We'll also hear from Victor Miro-Reed and Eric Chavez. They'll see early action tonight as well. The Monett defense, one of the defensive ends is Davin Madrid. The other is Christian Belleville. The defensive tackles, Alex Meisner and Fernando Hinojosa. The linebackers on the outside, Jake Hoyt and Isaiah Meeks. The inside backers are Ryan Withnell and Dylan Gorman. The defensive backs for the Cubs, at one cornerback, Ian Hildebrand. At the other corner, it'll be Marcus Young. The safety is Connor Pointer. We'll also see Porter Reed, Diego Baden, Eric Chavez, and Evan Witt in the lineup as well. And a special note tonight, if the Cubs have the opening kickoff tonight, Aviana Ortez, a 5'8", 145-pound senior athlete, she will be handling the opening kickoff duty in tonight's game. Ryan, that's kind of a unique situation, isn't it?
It is. We haven't seen her all year, so it'll be a really interesting thing.
A good opportunity.
Yeah, good opportunity.
I saw something earlier. Was it today? Might have been yesterday. A female athlete out in California scored 2 touchdowns in a varsity game, and you know what? She looked pretty good doing it. You didn't know that it was a story about a female athlete scoring until she took her helmet off, and then the hair uncurled and came down. But she went in and scored, and she thought she would score a touchdown this year, but she scored in back-to-back drives, I think. But she scored 2 touchdowns in the same game, which
pretty good.
Kind of cool. Anybody. Yeah, for anybody, a male or female. Captain's heading to the midfield, and all the seniors, and there is a bunch of seniors as I went through those starting lineups. Over 20, I believe. I didn't count them up, but there's a bunch. Ryan will probably go through and count them for me now. But a big group of senior athletes tonight playing their final regular season game here at Burl Fowler. Just a reminder that the starting lineups were brought to you by Eric Norris State Farm Agency. Commercial, auto, home, and life. They covered all with no mayhem. Like a good neighbor, Eric Norris State Farm is there. Tonight's coin toss brought to you by Clark Community Mental Health Center with offices in Dade, Berry, and Lawrence counties. The Clark Center improves lives and communities through compassion and care. Go to www.clarkmentalhealth.com to find the phone number for services in your area. The Monett Cubs in their home purple jerseys and white pants. The Cassville Wildcats in their traveling white jerseys. I believe they got gray pants on tonight.
Yes.
Yes. I was hoping they weren't white pants that turned gray on them. You know, when I was in high school, the kids that wore the gray uniforms, we affectionately called them the Gray Goons. But that's a long story. I was not a Gray Goon.
I would hope not.
The Wildcats won the toss. They're going to defer to the second half, so the Cubs are going to receive the ball to start this game. And Monett will defend the north goal, and Cassville will go right to left as we look on. And a pretty good breeze tonight. We've not had a whole lot of wind after the first couple of weeks, but tonight a pretty good breeze blowing out of the south. It has calmed slightly from earlier this afternoon, but if there is an advantage in the first quarter, it would be for the Wildcats. A reminder that the first quarter tonight is going to be brought to you by Friendly Tire in Monett. From large to small, they service them all. Field service is also available. Stop by Friendly Tire or call 417-235-6777. Well, week number 9 is upon us. For all our faithful listeners, we thank you for sticking with us through the first 8 weeks. Hopefully tonight we can bring you a Monett Cub victory in this one. But it's always a good game, and when I take a look back, Cassville has won the last 6 contests. The last time Monett won was in the 2016 districts, but prior to that, the Cubs won 5 in a row. So it's been kind of a roller coaster rivalry the last decade or so. Right now, Cassville is working on a win streak against the Cubs. Monett hoping to break that here tonight. The kickoff is in the air. It's a low line drive kick that is scooped up at the 17, returned to the 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, and a good return there by Ian Hildebrand as he sets the Cubs up outside the 40-yard line.
He was brought down by number 28, Trayton Barnett.
So the Cubs will have good field position as we start their initial drive from the 41. Wide receiver split left and right. Again, that's Thomas and Palmer. Quarterback is Davin Madrid. Madrid takes the snap. He'll run the option, pitches it back to Pointer. Pointer's hit as he comes across the 40 out to about the 43. He'll pick up a couple. It'll bring up 2nd down and 8.
17, Hernandez there for the tackle.
Gain of a couple. 2nd down and long. I love that name, by the way. Hernandez.
Goes well. HH.
He's on our all-name team this year. 2nd down and 8 from the 43. Madrid resets his wide receivers. They come in tight now, so a bunch formation. Pitch back, goes to Young, running left, and he has stood up behind the line of scrimmage, and down he goes. He'll lose a couple. It'll be 3rd and long.
Angel Well with the tackle.
That was a good tackle. He stood him up and brought him down for a loss of a couple. Ball at the 41, clock rolling at 10:40 left here in the first quarter. The Cubs with their first drive looking for their initial first down. Jet sweep coming near side. It's Connor Pointer. Pointer hitting the backfield is able to go forward for a gain of maybe a yard. It's going to bring up 4th down and 9 and a possible punt situation here for the Cubs.
58, Ethan Lamborn there for the stop for the Wildcats, and that'll bring up 4th down.
So a quick 3 and out for Monett as they face 4th and 9 from the 42. The Wildcats drop 2 men back deep. Ewing and Hernandez back deep. Hoyt to kick it away, a high kick that stood up by the breeze. It hits and takes a Cub bounce inside the 30, continues to roll down to the 25, and that's where the Wildcats will have it 1st and 10. 33-yard punt with no return. Wildcats are led on offense by their quarterback, Bodie Rose. Bodie, a 5'10", 160-pound sophomore, so not a real big kid. But all accounts, he plays very, very tough. Two receivers split wide to the right. Here is a handoff and a fumble, and I believe the Cubs have recovered.
It was recovered by number 11, Marcus Young, who was able to fall on the loose ball.
That was Jacobson with the carry. He loses the ball, and the Cubs will have it 1st and 10 at the 30.
And that's a big moment there for the Cubs to get the ball right back after going 3 and out.
Porter Reed there to make the tackle and force the turnover. 1st and 10 Cubs. Boy, they have it in great field position now. Back to pass. Throw over the middle. Caught! Inside the 10. 5, touchdown!
That was Harvey to throw the pass there. It was a direct snap to Harvey, who threw it to Hildebrand, and a big trick play goes to the end zone for Monett.
A 30-yard touchdown from Harvey to Hildebrand. You talk about a quick change. They took advantage of that fumble and went to the air, and Hildebrand made a great catch at about the 8-yard line, and he scored. A 2-point conversion upcoming. Young tackled at the 4, and the score will remain 6-0. 9:33 left, first quarter. And in Berry County Brawl, the Cubs strike first. We'll be back with more first quarter action after this timeout.
Porter Reed to kick off for the Cubs.
Back at Burl Fowler, kickoff on its way, and that was Aviana Ortez that put her right foot into it, and a good kick down to the 35. No return. Wildcats kind of had a hard time fielding that kickoff, and they dove on it at 35. They'll have it 1st and 10.
Cubs defense will come back out after that one-play turnover on their last timeout.
Wildcats will send two receivers wide to the right, split backs behind the quarterback, ball given, tailback running right, a plunge off right guard out to about the 38.
Number 6, Josh Harvey there for the stop.
Josh Harvey with the tackle. 2nd down.
That was Trey Wilson with a carry. He'll pick up 3. And he wears number 3 on his uniform back. 2nd down and 7. So the Cubs with early momentum, we'll see if they can keep it here. Wildcats face 2nd down and 7 from their own 38-yard line. Rose at quarterback, again gives to Wilson, running right. Stood up after a short gain. He'll fall forward to about the 41 for a gain of 3 more.
Initial hit made by number 44, Isaiah Meeks, and then he was brought down by 22, Connor Pointer.
3rd down and 4, so a big early play here for this defense. Can they get off the field, get the ball back into the hands of their offense? Cassville comes out with receiver split left and to the right. Single back now behind the quarterback, Rose. Rose fires it near side, pass caught, 1st down and into Cub territory.
Brought down by 14, Eric Chavez, but not before they were able to get the 1st down.
Nice throw there from Rose. And the 1st down to the Cub 49, so a gain of 10 on the play. First and 10, that was a good snag there by, I'm trying to find some numbers here, Canyon King with the reception. First and 10 from the 49, jet sweep, running right. Wilson stood up and knocked down after a very short gain.
Brought down by 26, Ryan Whitnell.
They may give him a gain of a foot or two, so we're going to keep it second down and 10 here for the Cassville Wildcats. 7:25 left here in the first quarter. Monett on top 6-0. Wide receiver split wide to the right is Ewing. Wilson to the left, single back behind Rose, who'll run the option. He'll keep it himself and dives down to the Cub 45. He'll pick up about 4 on the play. He'll bring up third down.
He was wrapped up by number 12, Jake Hoyt.
Third down, we'll call it 3rd and 6 here for the Wildcats. Two receivers now split to the near side. Split backs behind Rose. Rose takes the snap. He'll roll left. He'll throw left. Has a man that's caught, and he'll have the first down.
Tackle made by 14, Eric Chavez.
That was Ewing with a gain of 8 and a Cub or a Wildcat first down. Bodie Rose now 2 of 2 passing for 18 yards and a couple of first downs. They've kind of hit that same pass a couple of times. Slot receiver doing an out, and they've been successful on 2 different occasions. Rose at quarterback will pitch it back, and the halfback will throw it back to Rose, and it is it intercepted? Yes, it is. Interception, Cubs.
Intercepted by number 11, Marcus Young, who also recovered the fumble in the last drive.
That was a pitch back to Ewing, and Ewing underthrew his intended receiver, which was the quarterback.
Young's off to a nice start for his senior night.
Yes, off to a really good start. Cubs with it after the second Wildcat turnover. And they have it 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line. Madrid under center, running the option. He'll keep it himself. Pounds outside the 25 to about the 26. He'll pick up a couple to bring up second down and 8.
Number 70, Nick Farrow there for the stop.
Let's see where they put him down. Well, we'll call it a gain of 2. This is a Wildcat team that turned it over multiple times at Nevada several weeks ago. Tonight they've been bitten twice with the turnover bug here in the first quarter.
Well, one of the keys to victory tonight was the Cubs win the turnover battle. So far, 2-0.
Yep, so far so good in that regard. Here's a pitch back to Young, who drops the pitch and is swallowed up in the backfield. There'll be a loss on the play back to the Cub 21.
Number 58, Ethan Lamborn there for the tackle for loss.
Well, we just about spoke too soon there. Cubs dodged a bullet there as Young was able to pick it back up, but it'll be a loss of 5 on the play.
3rd and 13.
Brings up 3rd and 13, even though the down marker says 4th and 13. There we go. Need to be a home field advantage with those line markers. Where was it? It was Alabama and Tennessee game that they almost had a 5th down controversy.
Both of them were wrong.
Yeah. 3rd and 13. Here's a pitch back to Pointer, and Pointer is gang tackled and dropped down inside the 20. It'll be 4th and long.
67, DJ Glidewell there for the stop. And that'll bring up 4th down for the Cubs.
Loss of 3 on the play.
4th down.
Be 4th and 16 for Monett. Line of scrimmage is the 18. Hoyt stands at his own 8-yard line. Kick away, a high tumbling kick that hits at the Cub 40. It takes a Wildcat bounce to the 39. A 21-yard punt into the wind and no return.
Down by number 45, Diego Baden.
Cubs a type of team, Ryan, that cannot get behind the sticks. And when they do get behind the sticks, it's very tough for them. That's why that first down throw was so important earlier. Kind of caught the Wildcats off guard, and it paid dividends.
Their offense just isn't built to get a ton of plays at once.
Back to pass, Rose throwing deep right side, and he overshoots his intended receiver, Ewing, by about 5 yards. The incompletion brings up 2nd down and 10.
22, Connor Pointer with the coverage for the Cubs.
Well, that's the first pass tonight for the Wildcats that hasn't been caught. 2 of them have been caught by Wildcats. 1 of them been caught by the Monett Cubs. 2nd down and 10. The clock stopped with 3:30 left in the first quarter. Monett on top 6-0. 2 receivers split wide to the right. 1 in the slot, 1 wide outside the numbers. Rose will turn and give to Wilson, and Wilson stood up after a short gain, and he'll pick up a couple. It'll bring up 3rd down and long.
26, Ryan with Nell, and 45, Diego Baden with the tackle.
Boy, this is classic Cassville football, isn't it? They like to pound the rock, don't they?
Run the ball and then play action.
Yep. 3rd down and 8. 2 receivers to the near side this time. Rose will fire it out there to Ewing. Ewing picks up a block and spins inside the 30, and he should have the first down.
Brought down by 11, Marcus Young.
They needed 8, and they pick up 10. And another first down. That's 3 first downs for the Wildcats. And they have it 1st and 10 at the Cub 28. Wide receiver splits wide to the right. Josh Olson out there. First time called his name tonight. Rose is going to run a power sweep right side. And the Cubs there to greet him at the line of scrimmage.
There is a flag on the play on the near side over here.
Completely away from the play. And we'll see what it is here. It's a hold against the Wildcats. That was at least 30 yards away from the play.
Yeah, it's not going to make an offense coordinator very happy when you have that.
Yeah, my question as a defensive coach is, what are you doing? What are you thinking? 10-yard penalty from the spot. Boy, it brings up now 1st and 20. Ball resting at the Monett Cub 38-yard line. Split backs behind the quarterback, Rose. And he'll pass right side, and the pass nearly intercepted by the Cubs.
Number 3, Evan Witt there with the deflection.
I think the ball kind of surprised him.
Well, the receiver was in front of him, and then it went above the receiver, and then I think he realized at the last second the ball was right in his face.
Yeah, by the time he saw it, it was too late. They were trying to set up kind of like a bubble screen out there. Ewing reached above his head, and it went through his arms, and Witt was right there. Got his hands up, but couldn't quite haul it in. 2nd down and 20. Clock stopped with 1:42 left here in the first quarter. And a reminder, first quarter brought to you by Friendly Tire here in Monett. Rose rolls to the right, has time, throws deep right side, and misses his intended receiver, who was open at the 10, and will bring up 3rd down and long.
14, Eric Chavez, and 22, Connor Pointer for the coverage for Monett.
Rose now 3 for 6, passing for 36 yards. Back-to-back incompletions on first and second down. Now the Wildcats face 3rd down and 20.
They did run that out route again that they like so much. It just wasn't there this time.
Yeah, run a quarter route that time.
Well, they did the out route and then they had a corner going above it.
Yep. Flag comes out. I believe this is going to be a delay penalty on the Wildcats. They were a little late getting their play call in. It is going to be delay against Cassville. So penalties have hurt the Wildcats in the last couple of minutes. A holding and now a delay. 3rd down and 25. Rose under center, drops straight back. He throws right, overshoots his intended receiver, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Number 3, Evan Witt there for this coverage for Monett.
Wildcats have thrown the ball 7 times already tonight. I've seen games where they haven't thrown the ball 7 times for 4 quarters.
Well, especially when they were under the control of Coach Parnell. He liked to run the football often.
Punting situation for the Wildcats. Line of scrimmage, the Cub 43. The kick away is a line drive kick that is fielded at the 8-yard line, and good coverage by the Wildcats. A 35-yard punt, and we'll see where they spot him down, just outside the 10, so about a 3-yard return on the play. Cubs will have it just outside their own 10-yard line.
Number 35, Jared Reynolds there for the stop. And the Cubs will take over deep in their own territory. You would think the ball would go in the end zone there, but you never know on those bounces how it's going to move.
You're absolutely right. We've seen some really unusual plays this year. On 1st down, Madrid brings motion, and now he'll run the option and keep it himself. Falls forward out across the 13. We'll see where they put him down. He'll pick up 2, maybe 3 yards on the play to bring up 2nd down.
Cassville defensive line did a nice job there, not letting Madrid get past him. I believe the Cubs haven't picked up a 1st down yet, have they?
Well, I gave them a 1st down on their touchdown, because they made more than 10 yards.
Yeah.
I think by rule they have 1 1st down. Handoff up the middle. Hoyt knocked down at the line of scrimmage.
67, DJ Glidewell there for the tackle.
3rd down, and we'll call it 3rd and along 7, a short 8 here, and that'll take us to the end of the 1st quarter, which was brought to you by Friendly Tire. No need to worry about your car's health, a flat tire, or being stuck in the field with Friendly Tire at your service. Call 417-235-6777. A reminder that all Monett Cubs touchdowns brought to you by the law offices of Randall Mastery and Randall, your hometown professional law office specializing in estate and real estate law. Count on them for professional results. Call 417-235-8688. All extra points or field goals brought to you by Home Shield Pest Control, providing a safe defense from pests in your home or business. Home Shield Pest Control is your quality, affordable pest service provider. Call 417-772-4177. 1st downs tonight will be brought to you by Monett Sonic Drive-In. Come in after the game for a burger, tots, and an ice-cold cherry limeade or a blackberry water. Have you ever had a blackberry water? Clint has not. You need to try it. It ain't bad. Well, raspberry and Sprite. You can have any combination you want at Sonic. Sonic's been America's drive-in for over 60 years. And Monett, we're about a block away from Sonic Drive-In here in Monett. We enter the 2nd quarter. Cubs face 3rd down and 8. Tonight's 2nd quarter brought to you by American Family Insurance. And a flag comes out, and there'll be a delay call. Okay, I don't know. You don't like to see that happen at a change of a quarter.
Absolutely not there. You should have all the time there to know what you're doing to get lined up and ready to go.
Okay, well, instead of that, I guess the Cubs called a timeout to save the penalty yardage. And that timeout brought to you by Simrise, formerly known as Isanova. They are now hiring. For more information about employment opportunities, go online to isanovatech.com and click on careers. So a timeout charge to the Cubs. That'll leave them with a couple here in the first half. It did save them the 5 yards, though.
There was no delay of game penalty, and the timeout was called.
Cubs lead it 6-0. They scored early in this one after a Wildcat fumble on first play. After the recovery of that fumble, the Cubs went to the bag of tricks. And Harvey, after a direct snap to him, hit Ian Hildebrand for a 30-yard touchdown pass. The 2-point conversion was no good. Cubs led at that point 6-0, and that's our score right now.
On that play, I mean, you had two guys in coverage, but Harvey wanted to throw the ball, so he was going to let it throw in his one chance.
And, you know, it was a beautiful pass.
It was.
And Hildebrand did a great job going up to get it.
Yeah.
3rd down and 8 for the Cubs. Madrid takes the snap. He'll keep it himself. Runs to the near side, across the 15 to the 17. That'll be a gain of 5 yards. It'll bring up 4th down.
82, Kanan King there for the tackle.
4th down, we'll call it 4th and 4. The Cubs will kick it away. They all have the wind at their back now here in the second quarter, and it's a pretty good breeze. Probably blowing out of the south-southwest at maybe 10 to 15 miles per hour. Line of scrimmage is the 17. The snap back, a good one. A good kick that goes over the head of the Wildcat receiver. It hits him, and now he picks it up at the 35. Good coverage from the Cubs as they flip the field there.
Brought down by 22, Connor Pointer. I don't think Harvey realized the ball had hit the Cassville player because he didn't really speed up when I don't think he saw it, the ball hit off his leg.
Well, through it all, it was a 48-yard punt and a 2-yard return.
Like we said, that ball will bounce in weird ways.
It really did, and that was an unusual bounce that came back and hit the Wildcat receiver, return man. They were able to get back on it. 1st and 10, Cassville at their own 37-yard line. Rose at quarterback will give to his first back through, and he is knocked down after a short gain.
He was met by 22, Connor Pointer, 45, Diego Baden.
That was Wilson with a carry, and Wilson will have no gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 10 for the Wildcats. 2 receivers split wide to the left, one in the slot and one out wide beyond the numbers. Split backs behind Rose, who gives on a dive play again, and this one goes for a short gain.
45, Diego Baden, and 76, Porter Reed there.
That was Jacobson with the carry as he gets it out to the 41. We'll give him a gain of 3. 3rd down and a long 6, maybe a short 7 here. Wide receiver split left and right. Motion as he rolls to the right. He throws to the right, and the pass is incomplete. Good coverage there by the Monett Cubs.
Nice coverage by number 3, Evan Witt. Saw the out route coming and cheated up and delivered a hit as soon as the ball made it there. Beautifully read there by Evan Witt.
It'll bring up 4th down and a punting situation for the Wildcats as Hernandez drops back inside his 30. The line of scrimmage, the Wildcat 41. Snap back is a good one. The kick away into the wind. hits and takes a great Wildcat bounce inside the 30 down near the 20-yard line. 39-yard punt, no return, and the Cubs will have it 1st and 10 at the 20. Second quarter tonight brought to you by American Family Insurance, here to carefully protect your dreams. Save up to 23% by combining your auto and your home policies. Call Riley Snyder at 417-235-6034 to receive a free quote. Cubs from their own 20. Madrid will pitch back to Young. Young is knocked down after a gain of a couple. Bring up 2nd down and 8.
Number 38, Jake Anthony's there for the tackle.
Tell you, Ryan, right now the Cubs, outside of that one play, having a hard time mustering some yards against this defense.
Yeah, this defense has done a nice job being in the right spots with a triple option. Cubs offense not really been able to move the ball well. That's something they're going to need to do because right now Cassville's won the field position battle for the most part, and eventually that's going to lead to points.
Madrid will work under center. Motion behind him. And again, the option comes to the near side, and Madrid lays a wallop to a defensive back air as he plows out across the 25.
Number 11, Garrett Ewing.
Gain of 6 for Davin. 4 carries tonight for 16 yards. Cubs face 3rd and 2 as they need to move the ball to their own 30 to get a first down. Madrid takes the snap. He'll give to his running back. That's Hoyt, and Hoyt will have the first down, brought to you by Monett Sonic Drive-In. Come in after the game tonight for a burger, tots, or an ice-cold cherry limeade.
Brought down by number 11, Garrett Ewing. Cassville showed blitz there, so that way Madrid wouldn't do the quarterback sneak that they've shown they like to do so often in those 30 shorts.
1st and 10 Cubs from the 34. Clock rolls with just over 8 minutes left before halftime. Madrid takes the snap. He'll run the option right. He has some running room across the 40, across the 45 for a first down.
17, Hernan Hernandez there for the stop. Not for Madrid's able to get the first down.
Gain of 12 and a first down. That first down sponsored by Monett Sonic Drive-In, home of the Cubs half-price happy hour every day from 2 to 4 p.m. So back-to-back first downs in this drive. We'll see if the Cubs can keep it rolling here. Madrid quarterback sneak, and he plows across midfield to the Wildcat 49, and he'll pick up 5 on a very simple play.
Brought down by a host of Wildcats there.
I don't know if anybody else in the conference runs the sneak as good as Madrid, but he, anytime he runs it, it seems like he'll pick up 3, 4, 5 yards.
Well, usually you don't run it on any down. Madrid, it could be first down, second down. He might run the quarterback sneak.
And it was a successful play for him there.
And he gets him second and shorter compared to maybe 2nd and 10.
Madrid barks out signals, takes the snap, and he'll run the option. And this time he is stood up behind the line of scrimmage. He's able to fall forward for no gain. It'll bring up 3rd down and 5.
37, Angel Vial there for the stop. Madrid did a nice job not trying to pitch that one out late there. That could have caused a turnover. He did a nice job just eating it, surviving another play.
At some point you're going to see Madrid pull back and throw that ball down the field to Hildebrand, maybe here on 3rd down and 5. Instead, Madrid will run the option. He'll have the first down and more. He may go the distance to the 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown! Monett Cubs, 49 yards. And the score, that touchdown, brought to you by the law offices of Randall, Mastery and Randall, your hometown professional law office specializing in estate and real estate law. Count on them for professional results. The extra point, sponsored by Home Shield Pest Control, providing a safe defense from pests in your home or business. Home Shield Pest Control is your quality, affordable pest service provider.
Madrid does a very nice job cutting back into the middle of the field there. The Wildcats were over pursuing. He cut back to the middle, and there was no one there to stop him. Cubs kind of have to rush in the PAT because they didn't get the block out there in time.
Snap back, ball down, the kick up. It's high enough, it's long enough, and it is good. 6-11 second quarter action. Monett leads the Cassville Wildcats 13-0. We'll be back with more action after this timeout.
Well, they heard what we were talking about.
To nothing after a 49-yard touchdown run from Davin Madrid. The upcoming kickoff sponsored by Farm Bureau agent Lance Metlock. He's for Missouri and he's for the Monett Cubs and all the farmers and families out in Cubs Nation. Be sure to call 417-236-0422. Eric Chavez to kick it away here. Booms a high end-over-end kick that comes down at the 5-yard line. The return set up across the field to the 10. Good pursuit by the Cubs, and the Wildcats will start near their 11-yard line.
Number 3, Evan Witt, and number 23, Aaron Soriano there for the tackle. Cubs did a nice job there getting downfield, stayed in their lane, stayed disciplined, didn't get over-pursued, and they made a nice tackle there.
What a nice drive for the Cubs. They started at their own 20. They took it 80 yards. The last 49 came with Madrid scoring. Cubs up 13-zip.
We had just talked about how the Cubs offense really couldn't move the football, and then as soon as we say that, they drive right down the field.
I'll be glad to say it every time if they get the ball, if that's the result. Here is a sweep running to the left, and a flag comes out. There's going to be a hold here.
Looks like Connor Pointer was there for the tackle.
Connor Pointer with the tackle. There's a penalty marker on the play.
I'm almost certain this will be a hold. It was thrown by a side judge here, or the line judge, during the run. If it's a spot foul, it'll be half the distance from the 15.
It's about the 7.5.
It's going to be a chop block.
Illegal chop block. Offense.
So they're going to move them back, I'm almost certain here. The flag's setting about the 14.5. We'll see where they go here. To the 7.
Offense.
Third penalty whistled against the Wildcats.
Half the distance to the goal.
And it'll be first and about 14 from the 7. Cubs defense playing a good first half, but there's a long way to go in this one. They need to clamp down on the Wildcats. Rose back to pass, throws back to the left side, and this one is intercepted.
Connor Pointer there saw the running back coming out the backfield, was there for the throwback, made a nice play to make the interception. Cubs will have it around the 26-yard line.
Pass intended for Trey Wilson, throwing it into the wind. It kind of hung up, and the Cubs get their third turnover of the first half.
And if he didn't go over there, there would have been no one else really around to stop him. Wildcats would have had a big play, so it's very critical that he was there for that, and it leads to a Cub big play.
Cubs will have it at the 25, first and 10. Up 13, looking for more. Here's a pitch and a reverse to Hildebrand. He was looking like he was going to throw it. Now he'll run it. He's to the 20, to the 15, and a flag comes out. That's going to be a horse collar, and that's going to be a penalty on the Wildcats.
Tackle was made by 24, Leighton Sutherland. But like we said, there's a flag on the play, probable horse collar.
It was a gain of 10 on the run. Boy, flags came out of everywhere, every direction there.
They all want to throw it.
Yeah. And what did I tell you about flags? Once they start throwing it,
They won't stop.
they won't stop. They keep throwing the flags. The Marshfield comes to mind. It is a horse collar.
Well, face mask is what he called.
That's what the
Okay.
PA said, but he did this number. That's going to be a penalty from the spot of the infraction. It'll go half the distance to the goal. Ironically, it's just about where they had their chop block just a few minutes ago. It'll be another 7-yard penalty.
Defense. Half the distance to the goal.
Cubs pick up a first down, their 4th of the night. And remember, those are brought to you by Sonic Drive-In, your first stop after tonight's game. America's Drive-In for more than 60 years. First and goal, Cubs.
First and goal. At the Cassville 7-yard line.
Madrid resets his receivers. Single back behind him. Takes the snap. He'll give to that back who dives inside the 5 down to about the 4-yard line.
Pile of Wildcats there to bring him down. Second and goal.
Connor Pointer, the ball carrier.
That was Pointer with a carry.
Harvey will check in for Hoyt now.
Gain of 3 yards on the play.
Do you think that was Hoyt then that carried the ball?
At the Cassville,
I think it was Hoyt.
Yeah, I'm going to give him a gain of 3 on the play. Second down and goal from the 4. The Cubs looking to increase their 13-point lead. Madrid under center. Takes the snap. He'll pitch near side. Cut up. Harvey close to the goal line, but knocked down at the 1.
Number 82, Cannon King there for the tackle for the Wildcats. Third and goal here. We could see a Madrid sneak.
I'm going to say this for Leonard Bauer, who might be out there listening. Run the sneak.
Well, when you have someone like Madrid who also loves the sneak.
Third and goal from the 1, and it is the sneak. Madrid into the end zone. Touchdown, Cubs. So Madrid with his second score tonight, and the Cubs are on top 19-zip. That touchdown brought to you by the law offices of Randall, Mastery, and Randall. The upcoming PAT sponsored by Home Shield Pest Control. Snap back, ball down, the kick up. It's high enough, it's long enough, and it is good. A flag comes out. Maybe a roughing penalty here. It is, yeah, they're running into the kicker.
Assess that on the kickoff.
That will be the extra point is good. Cubs lead at 20-0. We'll slip away, hear from a sponsor or two. Be back with more second quarter action after this.
Biggest win of the year against your biggest.
Lance Metlock, he's for Missouri, and he's for the Monett Cubs. Call him at 417-236-0422. Second quarter tonight brought to you by Riley Snyder American Family Insurance, located at 811 Dairy Street in Monett. Call 417-235-6034 to get a free quote. So the 5-yard penalty for running into the kicker, so I better record that one. Marked off, so Chavez will kick off from the 45. High end over end kick that drives the Wildcats into the end zone, so it'll be a touchback out to the 20-yard line.
really thought his foot hit in bounds there instead of the end zone at first. That
It did, but the momentum,
I
they,
gotcha.
they take him back in there into the end zone, so he didn't return it into the end zone. Well, you can say all you want, but I'm telling you right now, a 20-0 start here is surprising a lot of people.
The 20-0 start is definitely surprising a lot of people.
1st and 10 Wildcats. Handoff. Sweep to the near side. A flag comes out, and this is going to be another penalty, I believe, on the Wildcats. That was Wilson with a run. He picks up about 5, but this one may be coming back.
Those are those mental penalties that really get a coach upset there as a team. You get undisciplined, you get mad, and you make a mistake like that to cost your team yardage.
Critical for the Cubs to stay within their game plan.
Well, this is right up their alley. You have a lead and you run the football. That's what they love to do, is run the football.
We didn't really mention about the crowd tonight, but a great crowd tonight. And look across the way. Look at how many people came up from southern Berry County.
Oh, you'll know Cassville's going to travel.
And they got a bunch of people over here, looks like in hunting gear, maybe, yeah?
Well, there's student section over there. The theme every year when they play Monett is bear hunt.
10-yard penalty marked off, so it's 1st and 20. Maybe 1st and 21. Quarterback Rose will keep it himself, and the Cubs defense will have none of it as they knock him down at the 9-yard line.
26, Ryan Withnell, and 44, Isaiah Meeks there for the tackle.
Well, I tell you what, it's this middle portion of a game that is so critical. The last 4 of the first half and the first 4 of the second half, Cubs can win those 8 minutes. They could be well on their way to a big Week 9 victory tonight.
Well, they've played with the momentum. They've played discipline. Cassville's kind of got undisciplined at times, cost themselves yardage, and got out of their assignment, and it's led to big plays for Monett.
Rose will set up under center on 2nd down and 21. Back to pass, looks left, throws left, and the pass is dropped by his intended receiver, Garrett Ewing.
Coverage by 45, Diego Baden, and 11, Marcus Young. That'll bring up 3rd and long now for the Wildcats.
Rose now 3 of 10 passing with an interception.
He started the game pretty well with those 2 completions on the out routes. Since then, the Cubs have taken away the out route, and it's been very hard for him to throw.
Opportunity here for the Cubs to get a stop, but first a timeout on the field. This timeout brought to you by Simrise Isanova. They are now hiring. For more information about employment opportunities, go online to isanovatech.com and click on the Careers tab. 3:14 left here in the second quarter. Cubs lead at 20-0. They have been playing an inspired brand of football tonight. This looks a lot like the McDonald County game a few weeks ago.
It did. Like we said, it was critical for them to come out fast. It looked like they weren't, and then they came right back and scored that touchdown, the trick play, grabbed the momentum, and they have not been letting up on them. Defense, though, has been playing phenomenal for the Cubs. When Cassville's got down the field, Cubs have been able to get turnovers or critical stops.
And 3 turnovers. Anytime you can win a turnover battle in a half 3-0, you got a good chance to have a lead at halftime.
Our keys to victory were starting fast and winning the turnover battle. And so
check
far,
and check so far.
And field position, which started with Cassville, and Monett's really started taking control of the field position battle now as well.
Boy, a lengthy conversation between Coach Weldy and the officials. He's still out on the field, but he's talking with his players. He retreats to the sideline. Wildcats face 3rd down and 21 here. Cubs in with 4 defensive backs now. Rose will work under center. He takes the snap, and he'll give on a dive play to Wilson. Wilson across the 10 to about the 12. He'll pick up about 4 yards, and he'll bring up 4th down.
6, Josh Harvey, and 26, Ryan Withnell for the stop. That'll bring up 4th and very long for the Wildcats.
You know, this is an important game for the Wildcats as well. You know, they're fighting for a position inside their district as well. They have a good opportunity to host a game in Week 10, but first things first, they're down 20 to the Cubs here. Snap back, the kick away is a good kick, fielded by Young right at the 50. He spins away from a tackle but dropped immediately. That was a kick of 37 yards, no return on the play.
37, Angel Vial there to corral Young and bring him down right around the 50-yard line.
2:32 left here in a big second quarter for the Cubs. They have it 1st and 10 right at the 50. They'll come out sending receivers wide right and left. Harvey is the lone tailback. Madrid will work on a long count now. Takes the snap. He'll keep it himself. Backpedals his way to the Wildcat 48 for a gain of 2.
67, DJ Glidewell there for the tackle.
Davin now 85 yards on 10 carries, and more importantly, 2 touchdowns here in the first half.
Glidewell pretty solid here for the Cassville Wildcats so far. Good size. He's listed as a freshman for him.
Wow, big kid. 2nd down and 8 from the Wildcat 48-yard line. Back to pass Madrid. The pass slapped down by one of those interior linemen or an outside linebacker maybe. The incompletion will bring up 3rd down. I'm going to check out a number here. That was Canyon King that knocked it down. 5'11", 185-pound sophomore. Plays at a linebacker position. The incompletion brings up 3rd down and 8 from the 48. The clock stopped with 1:54 left. Cubs reset the receivers. Bunch formation to the right. And here's a pitch to the right. Jake Hoyt. Hoyt across midfield and knocked down at the line of scrimmage for no gain.
That's Glidewell there for the tackle.
Wildcats call a quick timeout. That's their 2nd timeout. Stopping the clock with 1:46 left here before halftime. A reminder, timeout sponsored by Simrise Isanova. So now the Cubs face 4th and 8. Sure, they'll boot it away here and try to pin the Wildcats deep in their territory. I'm sure if you talked to Coach Lewis before the game and told him you'd be up 20-0 at half, he'd take it in a heartbeat.
Oh, absolutely he would, especially in this game right here.
Keep in mind that the Wildcats will get the second half kickoff. So it'd be very important here for the Cubs to pin the Wildcats deep and let their defense go to work. Line of scrimmage is a Wildcat 48. Hoyt will stand at his own 42. With a good wind at his back here, we'll see what he can do. Kick, a high kick, booming kick, fair catch, called for and received at the 10. So a good kick there, 38 yards and no return.
Nice job though pinning Cassville deep there, and the Cubs defense will come out and Cassville have to go 90 yards to score.
I still can't get over Jake Hoyt punting the ball.
Left-footed but right-handed.
And was originally right-footed.
He was originally right-footed until his sophomore year. He broke, or his freshman year, he broke his leg, his right leg, and felt awkward using it after using his left for a little bit. So he just kept the left leg and his right arm.
And you know, his kicking game has improved throughout the year. He's doing a really good job. 1st and 10 Wildcats at their own 10-yard line. Bodie Rose at quarterback. And a scrum in the middle of the field. No gain for the Wildcats. I don't know who ended up with a ball there. I believe it was Jacobson that's knocked down at the 10-yard line.
62, Bernardo Hinojosa there for the stop.
2nd down and 10. Clock rolling inside 1:15 left here before halftime. 2 receivers to the near side. Bodie Rose at quarterback under center. Now a stop in action. And a timeout called by the Wildcats. Again, timeouts brought to you by Simrise Isanova. That's unusual. I don't know what their strategy is here.
There must have been a miscommunication there, and Weldy's not very happy about having to use that, I bet, because you got a minute 4 seconds to go 90 yards. You kind of need all the time you can get.
You know what? I know for a fact, and just go back 1 year and a few weeks ago when these two teams matched up. Can't count your chickens before they hatch in this game. You know, Monett felt like they had a victory a year ago. Wildcats pulled it out of the fire. So, I'm telling you, these last 64 seconds here in this half are important for the Cubs. If they can keep their shutout going into halftime, they'll have a good opportunity to pull out a win tonight.
Well, if Cassville's trying to throw it, you already have 2 interceptions on the night. Cubs can get down with another one, have short field. They could add to that lead.
You're kind of a glass half full guy, aren't you?
Absolutely. Always look at the positive.
2nd down and 10. And you know what? You do that. It's probably a good balance for me. 2nd down and 10 from the 10-yard line. Rose will drop back to pass. He's going to throw deep down the middle, and it was nearly caught out there by Ewing. That was an unusual pass because you thought he was aiming for a different receiver, Hernandez, but it was actually Ewing that almost came up with a catch.
Coverage by 22 Connor Pointer. I think Witt was supposed to be with him, and I think he was running a slant. He did a slant up, and it left him open.
Man, you can't let anybody get behind you at this point. 90 yards away from pay dirt. Get a stop here. 3rd down and 10. Wide receiver split wide to the left, one to the near sideline as well. Both outside the numbers, so really spread out here. Rose gives on a draw to Wilson, and Wilson across the 15 to the 20 to the 22. That'll be a gain of about 13 yards.
22 Connor Pointer there for the tackle. Nice play call by the Wildcats, going with the draw with everyone expecting pass.
But you know what? That's all right for the Cubs because now the clock rolls. The Wildcats have a 1st down at their own 23, but we're inside 40 seconds left before halftime. Rose under center takes the snap. He'll roll to the left. He'll look to the left and overshoots his intended receiver, Hernandez. And he'll bring up 2nd and 10 with 31 seconds left.
14, Eric Chavez with the coverage. Definitely no one behind you here if you're the Cubs.
Yeah, those two safeties, Pointer and Chavez, they need to get good drops here, as do the linebackers. Let them complete a pass in front of you, but don't let anybody behind you. Play call being brought in from the sideline. The play clock inside 10 seconds. The Wildcats need to hurry here to avoid a penalty. Rose will take the snap, drops back, pump fake, now throws to the left, and it is incomplete. No flag on the play.
Beautiful coverage by Young there, not drawing the pass interference, waiting until the ball is there to get any sort of touch on the receiver. Did a good job avoiding contact there before the ball got there.
That ball hung up in the air a long time into the wind. Wildcats kind of fortunate probably that it wasn't picked off.
Well, I think Young was expecting it to get there a little faster. If he would have realized it was that high up, he would have played it like he would in basketball and just go up and get a rebound.
3rd down and 10. Clock stopped with 24 seconds left. Bodie Rose under center takes the snap. Draw play up the middle again. That is Wilson, and Wilson gets to the 30-yard line and no further. He'll pick up, they'll go ahead and give him a spot out to the 31 for a gain of nearly 8 yards.
Clock rolls, under 10 seconds remain in the half here, and I think the Wildcats are just going to take it to the half, down 20-0.
That will be the final play here in the first half. Our score at intermission: the Monett Cubs 20, the Cassville Wildcats nothing. We will slip away, hear from some of our outstanding sponsors. We will be back with the Remax halftime show after this timeout. You are listening to Monett Cub football on KKBL Radio, which is part of the Talon Sports Network. Team at Remax Properties in Monett has the talent, intelligence, and teamwork to provide you with the utmost care and respect in these exciting times. Our score at halftime, the Monett Cubs 20, the Cassville Wildcats nothing. And with a recap of the first half scoring, here is my broadcast partner, Ryan McCullough.
Well, in the first quarter, on the second drive, after Monett picked up a fumble on Cassville's first play, Josh Harvey took a direct snap and threw the ball 30 yards to Ian Hildebrand, who caught it around the 10 and then took it the rest of the way. They went for 2 on that drive, ended up being no good. Cubs led 6-0. Cassville's defense came out, did a good job shutting the Cubs' offense. Cubs' defense, though, created a couple turnovers. And then in the second quarter, at the 6:11 mark, Madrid had a 49-yard touchdown run where he faked a pitch and then cut back up the middle, and no one was there. And the extra point was good, and that made the score 13-0 at the 6:11 mark. Also in the second quarter, 2 minutes later, after a Connor Pointer interception, Madrid took it in 1 yard on a quarterback sneak and scored a touchdown. Extra point was good. That made the score 20-0 at the half.
Thank you, sir. 20-0 our score at intermission. We'll slip away, and when we return, we'll take a look at other area scores in southwest Missouri. Our score here at Burrow Fowler, the Cubs lead it 20-0 at halftime. Back with more of the RE/MAX halftime show after this quick break. Show, RE/MAX reminds you that talent wins games, but teamwork wins championships. The same can be said for buying or selling a home in today's market. Visit with a team at RE/MAX. Here at halftime, the Cubs lead at 20-0. The Monett High School Marching Band performing at intermission. These kids do a great job, too. A lot of effort goes in with this team as well, and they are performing in front of a big crowd here at halftime at Burrow Fowler. 20-0 our score here. Ryan, there's a lot of other big games in southwest Missouri. Would you like to cover some of those scores at this time?
Absolutely. Pulled it up just now. Carthage and Willard, number 1 Carthage Tigers, they lead Willard 21-0. Number 3 Camdenton, 21, Glendale 8. We have Nevada and Seneca tonight. We said that could be a really big game. Indians win. They win the conference outright. They lose, and Lamar wins. They get a share of the conference title. Halftime, Tigers 21, Indians 14. Good game going on there. Nixa 28, Ozark 7. That's another rivalry game this week going on. It's a big rivalry game for those two towns. Joplin 14, Neosho 14 late in the second quarter. That's a good one right now. And a surprise there's Neosho hanging there with Joplin. Webb City 21, Branson 14. Mount Vernon and Reed Springs, another big game on the other side of the conference. Mountaineers 14, Red Wolf 7 in the second quarter. Almost halftime there. McDonald County 26, Patriots 7 late in the second. East Newton trying to get the first win. Not looking like it's going to happen this week. Last night, you had Pierce City take on Stockton, and the Eagles 34, Stockton 28. That was the final on a Thursday night game.
And let me say this, they got behind 21-0 in that game too.
And had to come back.
Yeah.
Wow. Not a lot of updates on Ozone tonight.
Well, that's still a lot of, and no Republic score?
I'll look for you. I did not see Republic on here. I'm looking. Republic 7, Carl Junction 0 in second.
You know, and won an upset last week. That was last week, right? Republic beating Nixa?
I believe it was last week, yeah.
The weeks kind of blend together here, but, and then how about that? The finish of the Carthage Joplin game. Joplin was lining up to kick a game-winning field goal. It got blocked and returned for a touchdown.
Yeah, that was a crazy ending. That's not something you would predict happening before.
So, you never know. You had to hang in games and try to create your own breaks. And, in that particular game, a game-changing play at the end of the contest. Here, the Cubs up 20-0. So let's talk a little bit about the second half, and then we'll look at stats here in a little bit. But coming out, you're up 20-0. You got a kickoff, all right? So, I told you when we were in break, if it were me, I think I'd take the wind in the third quarter, try to pin Cassville as deep as you can and let your defense go to work.
I agree with you there, and Cassville's going to come out ready to swing this second half. Down 20-0. Coach Weldy is not very happy, obviously. We could hear him on the other side of the field when they were walking up. He's going to get his team in there, coach them up. They're going to come out this second half ready to play. Cubs are going to have to be there to answer and take it up another notch. They're going to get Cassville's very best to come out in the second half.
Yeah, and I talk about those middle 8 minutes, the last 4 of the half and then the first 4. If the Cubs can come out and establish their defense again in the third quarter and take that momentum and keep that momentum away from Cassville, they could very well win this game in the third quarter.
Just like they did against McDonald County, where they were able to get the momentum again. Just when it looked like McDonald County was going to get points on the board late in the third, they get an interception in the end zone, takes all the momentum, kills Matt County's drive. Cubs have to find a way to get some quick stops in the second half early, and then if they can punch one in too, grab the momentum again and really put a dagger on the Wildcats, they'll be in a good spot to win this game in the fourth.
When you take a look at the first half stats, Cassville was limited to 73 yards of total offense, 45 on the ground, 28 through the air. The Wildcats were 3 of 14 passing for 28. They ended up with 4 first downs, but 3 costly turnovers, 6 penalties for 44 yards, and 3 punts for a 37-yard average. On the other side, Monett, 23 carries for 100 yards on the ground, 1 of 2 passing for 30 more, so 130. So roughly, Monett outgained Cassville 2-1. They also had 4 first downs, but no interceptions, no fumbles, no penalties.
The keys to victory, like we said tonight, were winning the field position battle, which Cassville won at first, and the Cubs definitely won it in the second quarter. Starting the game good, Cubs got the early touchdown and turnovers, and then winning the turnover battle was our 3 big keys to victory. Right now, Cubs have checked all 3 of those boxes.
And remember, tonight's Keys to Victory brought to you by Buchanan Funeral Home in Monett. Since 1950, Buchanan has assisted families honor the lives of their loved ones. Individually, for the Monett Cubs, they're led on the ground by the quarterback, Davin Madrid. 10 carries, 85 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Jake Hoyt, 4 carries for 9 yards. In Hildebrand with a big play, 1 carry on a double reverse. He had 10 yards, and that play ended with a penalty that moved the Cubs down to about the 7-yard line.
I think he was supposed to throw on that play. He saw it wasn't there, and so he made the most out of it and took it for a run, which was the smart play for him to do. It ended up being a very good play for Monett.
Yeah, it did look like he was going to try to throw it. Instead, he tucked it and took off, and it ended up, as you said, a big play for the Cubs that set up a touchdown. The one completion tonight, Josh Harvey, the running back, he got a direct snap and he threw it. So he's 1 of 1 passing tonight for a touchdown, 30-yarder to Ian Hildebrand. For the Cassville Wildcats, Trey Wilson, 8 carries for 33 yards. Bryson Jacobson, 3 carries for 8 yards. Bodie Rose, 2 carries for 4 yards. Rose, 3 of 13 passing tonight with 1 interception.
Did you see our halftime entertainment is the battle of the superintendents, I believe.
No doubt.
And a punt, pass, and kick competition between the superintendents of both schools.
Well, that's a unique challenge here. And the first punt went about for the Cubs.
Oh, he's lefty.
He's a lefty, and he bunts it down to about the 20. I hope one of these guys don't pull a hamstring.
That would be very unfortunate. So do they get the roll or they have to stop where it hit?
I think it's where it hits.
Let's see if we have a backup for Patrick Mahomes.
Now we're going to have a passing contest here. It's a
he's got
bomb. That's a good one. That went 51 yards. 51-yard pass from the...
Mr. Drake there.
Yes, he bombed it. Now we'll see what the Wildcats have in store here. Not going to make it. About 42.
He had an arm on him.
Yeah. Now what? Do we have kickoff? Punt, pass.
They did the
and
punt
kick.
and they did the pass, so now they got a kick.
You're way too young. But they used to have this on Monday Night Football at halftime, punt, pass, and kick competitions. And Andy Reid, the coach of the Kansas City Chiefs, appeared on Monday Night Football in punt, pass, and kick. And he was about 2 foot taller than every kid he competed against. He was a mountain of a man at the age of 12. Soccer-style kick. That kind of looked like the field goal for Tennessee.
The Tennessee one went in. That's all that matters.
It's now up to you.
I think Cassville won the punt. Monett won the pass. Cassville comes out now for the kick.
I don't know about this, how he's got it teed up. I don't think he's going to
Not
have
a lot of
this.
air under it if
No.
he kicks it like this.
He's a lefty, though. We'll see when he pulls off here.
Oh,
Not
he
a
got
bad
decent
kick. Well, a good contest here. No one was injured. That was good. Ironically, and I may be wrong, but I believe the PA announcer here in Monett is a board member.
He is, yes.
Yes, so I think he had some good time watching his employee out there punt, pass, and kick.
Definitely.
And no one was injured, so that was
Nobody
good.
pulled a hamstring.
Now they'll probably need to go ice.
I bet you would have liked that as Superintendent Clever. You didn't do
Not with the knees that I have. No, I don't think so. Maybe years ago, but good time was had by all. Well, at halftime here, the Cubs lead at 20-0. Both teams coming back onto the field. We'll have enough time to slip away here from some of our sponsors, and we will be back with the third quarter after this timeout.
He won by
107 total yards. Superintendent asks their communities to donate items for tonight's game. These donations will be provided to each community student in greatest need. Thank you to all that have donated. When you donate, your name was entered for a drawing to win a $200 prize from either the Cassville or Monett Chambers of Commerce.
Time show. Come home to the best real estate team in the area, RE/MAX. Third quarter tonight brought to you by Quick Draw Gun, offering you the area's largest selection of firearms, ammunition, and accessories. That's Quick Draw Gun in Monett. The Wildcats onto the field, the Cubs on the sideline. We're just minutes away from tonight's third quarter. Here at intermission, the Cubs lead it 20-0. And Ryan, now it's all about maintaining that momentum. And as we look on, it does appear that the Cubs will be utilizing the wind in the third quarter.
Coach Piepenbrink getting the Cubs all huddled up and riled up together as a whole team, not just the kickoff team.
Yeah, big difference with this huddle than the one from a week ago up at Nevada.
Absolutely. That one was a negative huddle. This one's get ready to play, get them motivated, get them excited. Let's go get that momentum back. Because you can't come out light here because Cassville's going to be swinging.
And you wouldn't expect anything less out of the Cassville Wildcats.
Absolutely not. And don't think they're going to abandon the run game either.
No, they threw it 14 times in the first half and ran it just 13 times. So they may get back to some of the basics.
Chavez not in to kick off.
Aviana in to kick it in.
She's kicking off again for the Cubs.
With the wind at her back, kicks it away. Down to the 25. Return set up to the left. Cubs pursuit there to knock down the Wildcat return man out to about the 35-yard line.
86, Marco Salas there for the stop. As the Cubs defense will come on.
And kudos to Coach. Number one, getting all his seniors in.
Mm-hmm.
And that might have led to some of that momentum in that first half, too. There's something about this being a team game and a lot of kids getting to play a part in that.
They're playing inspired. Nice little kick for her there. Cubs coverage team did a nice job getting downfield.
Here's Wilson running near side and a big run right out of the chute. A gain of nearly 20 for Wilson as he gets to the Cubs 46.
14, Eric Chavez with the tackle flag.
On the play.
Could be holding on the Wildcats here on the edge.
Well, that was going to be a 19-yard gain. Now it's going to be a 10-yard penalty. They're moving back, holding against the Wildcats.
Like I said, Cassville would come out swinging.
Coach Weldy not happy about that.
They had a big play, if it just on those undisciplined mistakes.
And you know what? The Cubs have battled that this year too. And
they have, especially at Marshfield. They honestly probably should have won the game, but they had, 15 accepted penalties against
I believe that's right. And they actually had more like 17 or 18 penalties in the game.
Some of them were just declined.
This will be about a 15-yard penalty. No, 10-yard penalty, 1st and 20. Here's a handoff to the second man through. That's Jacobson. And he pounds out to the 30-yard line for a gain of 5.
26, Ryan Withnell, and 62, Fernando Hinojosa there for the tackle.
Second down and 15 upcoming. So if the first two plays are any indication, the Wildcats are going back to the basics. One was a sweep to the right. That one as a dive off left guard, left tackle for a gain of 5. From the 30, here come the Wildcats. Wide receiver split wide to the right. Rose will run the quarterback sweep himself to the left and gets out to the original line of scrimmage for a gain of 5 yards.
26, Ryan Withnell for the tackle.
And you just wonder if the entire second half for the Wildcats will be 4-down territory.
I would imagine. And like we said at halftime, you're probably going to get Cassville's very best this entire third quarter here.
3rd down and nearly 10 for Cassville as they have it just outside their 35-yard line. Rose back to pass, throws near side, and the pass is broken up and incomplete.
Broken up by number 44, Isaiah Meeks. Could have had an interception there, did a nice job, though, getting his hands up, getting the ball down. But if he would have intercepted it, Meeks might have went to the house.
I think he probably would have. He'd have had that at about the 35. Nevertheless, it brings up 4th down, and the Wildcats bring their punt unit on here. Cubs need to be wary, though, here on 4th down and 10. Hernandez back to punt. And the kick away is a line drive kick that goes over Young's head and checks up at the Cub 28-yard line. 25. It's a 37-yard punt.
Cubs
with
off
no return.
Coming out. This is important for them to establish a drive here, take momentum, get first downs, move the ball.
Yeah, they'll take over with 10-17 left here in the third quarter, leading by 20. They can put a drive together here and chew up some clock. That'll go a long way for them trying to secure their 3rd victory of the season. 1st and 10 Cubs from their own 28-yard line. Madrid will work under center. Motion behind him. Runs the option, pitches it late to Young, and Young is swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play.
Number 11, Garrett Huwing there for the stop.
Yeah, good defensive play there by Ewing on 1st down. It brings up 2nd down and 10, and that play just wasn't very smooth for the Cubs. 2nd down and 10 from their own 28. Wide receiver split left and right. Madrid takes the snap, keeps it himself, and plows outside the 30 to about the 31-yard line for a gain of 3.
37, Angel Vielle there for the tackle. 3rd down for the Cubs.
Ball resting at the 31. 3rd down and 7. As the Cubs come out with 2 receivers. Meeks to the right. Hildebrand to the near sideline. Madrid back to pass. Fires one to Hildebrand, who makes the catch, but he's run out of bounds near the 35, short of the 1st down.
Taken out of bounds by number 38, Jake Anthony's.
Gain of 4 on the play.
Hoyt will come out for the punt.
Cubs only able to run off about a 1:20 off the clock in that drive, so they'll boot it away here from their own 35-yard line. Wildcats are not deep enough here. I think Hoyt will airmail one here. Hernandez back to get it at the 32. Return to the 35, 40, 45, and out across the 50. A good run by Hernandez.
26, Ryan Withnow there to get the stop finally. Cassville take over in decent field position.
It was a 32-yard punt that just about got over the head of Hernandez. Instead, he went back to get it and turned it into a nice return of nearly 20 yards. And the Wildcats really with good field position now. 1st and 10 from the Cub 48-yard line. Bodie Rose turns and gives to Jacobson running left. Breaks the tackle, but then stood up as he gains a couple and will bring up 2nd down and long.
Brought down by number 12, Jake Hoyt, and 62, Fernando Hinojosa.
Gain of a couple. 2nd down and 8 from the Cub 46. Play being brought in from the sideline. Wildcats come out with the receiver split left and right. Rose back to pass. He rolls to the right. Throws deep down the middle. Has a man, Ewing, open down inside the Cub 20.
Brought down by 22, Connor Pointer. I think that's something Cassville drew up at halftime because they saw the Cubs safety was coming over for the out route, so they ran one right behind it, and he was wide open.
Gain of 26 and a 1st down for the Wildcats at the Cub 20-yard line. Yeah, he was open, and the Cubs fortunate to get back to knock him down after a gain of 26. So deepest penetration of the night for the Wildcats. On 1st and 10, Rose takes the snap. He'll run the quarterback sweep. Inside the 20, he goes down to about the 18-yard line for a gain of 2.
Brought down by number 3, Evan Witt.
So a big part of this game right now, the Wildcats down by 20, but they are in the red zone at the 18. 2nd down and 8. Hernandez splits wide to the left. One wide receiver to the near sideline as well. Rose brings motion behind him. He takes the snap. He rolls to the left. He throws to the left. That's Ewing. Makes the catch inside the 15.
14, Eric Chavez there for the tackle.
A gain from the 18 to the 13, a gain of 5. Ewing now with 4 catches tonight for 49 yards. It'll bring up 3rd down and a long 3 for the Wildcats. Clock rolls at 6:20 left here in the 3rd quarter. Reminder, 3rd quarter brought to you by Quick Draw Gun here in Monett. Rose under center, movement up front. And this is going to be a penalty on the Cubs, I think. There was movement. Cubs appeared to jump into the neutral zone and made contact. It's going to be offside against the Cubs. That'll be their first penalty tonight, but it will give the Wildcats 1st and goal. Ball will be set up at the 8, so it's 1st and goal from the 8. Wildcats come out with 2 receivers split wide to the right. Rose takes the snap, gives to the second man through. That's Wilson. Trey able to gain a yard or 2 here down to about the 6.
Brought down by 75, Porter Reed.
See where they spot him. Looks like about 6.5, so we'll give him a gain of a yard there. 2nd and goal from the 7. Wildcats break huddle with 5:28 left here in the 3rd quarter. Receivers split left and right. Rose under center. He's going to run a sweep to the far side. Hit in the backfield and rolled up there. Little or no gain on the play to bring up 3rd down and goal.
Brought down by 45, Diego Baden, and 22, Connor Pointer.
Gain of maybe a yard on the play.
Big 3rd down coming up here.
Officially, it's 3rd and goal from the 7. Shotgun formation now. Back to pass. Rose throws near side. Pass completed, but short of the goal line.
22, Connor Pointer there to bring him down around the 2 or 3 yard line. Huge 4th down.
There's Wilson with the catch. A gain of 4.
I imagine the Wildcats are probably going to go for it here.
Oh, they've got to. Down 20. 3rd and goal from the 3. Put a star next to this play. This one's an important one as we approach the 4-minute mark here in the 3rd quarter. Rose will work out of under center this time. Takes the snap. He'll roll to the right. Makes a man miss, but is stood up short of the goal line. The Cubs defense holds.
That's a huge goal line there, stand there for the Cubs.
Yeah, you're going to put that down. 3:58 left in the 3rd. A gain of just a couple. And the Cubs defense stops the Wildcats on the goal line. So now the Cubs back against the goal line.
Now you got to get out of this situation if you're the offense.
Yeah, don't necessarily need a score here, but you need to get some field position.
You want to eat the clock, get field position. Couple first downs here would really help get out of this area that you're in right now. Definitely no turnovers.
Bunch formation to the near side here for the Cubs. And they'll run it that way. Maybe a gain of a yard on the play. That was Harvey for a gain of maybe 1.
Gain of 1 yard on the play. Second and 9 for the Cubs.
Yeah, the Cubs loaded up the left side of their offensive line there and tried to run behind them. Wildcats ready for the test that time. A gain of a yard, second down and 9 from the 3-yard line.
I might run a quarterback sneak here in Madrid just to get some yardage going forward.
Madrid under center. He was hit in the backfield. Don't think it's the Wildcats want a safety, but his forward progress was at the line of scrimmage. That was Madrid. No gain on the play. Third down and 9 upcoming for the Cubs as the clock rolls inside 3 minutes left here in the third. Play being shuttled in by Harvey from the sideline. Play clock inside 10 seconds left here. Madrid's going to have to hurry here, and he'll call a timeout to avoid a penalty. Timeout sponsored by Simrise Isanova. Remember that they are now hiring. For more information about employment opportunities, go online to isanovatech.com and click on careers. Well, third down and 9 here. One thing for sure, the Cubs want to avoid a miscue down here. Getting a first down at this point would be a bonus.
Absolutely, and you don't want Hoyt punting with his heels against the white.
True, that's true. Now, one thing I've noticed about Hoyt, though, he's usually only about 10 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
And he gets it off decently quick. He just kind of takes it, and then he takes about a step and boots it away.
Yeah, he's pretty quick to get rid of it. We'll see what the Cubs offer up here on 3rd and 9 from their own 3-yard line. Two receivers split wide to the right. Harvey's the lone back. And it'll be Madrid, and Madrid is hit at the 1-yard line. Again, Wildcats wanting a safety, but it'll be a loss of 2 for Madrid, and it'll bring up 4th down.
That was a big stop there for the Wildcats, pinning the Cubs deep. Now the Cubs are going to have to punt deep into their end zone.
You know what? I'd almost take a delay here. What's it going to cost you? A foot?
Just put you back on the Y. I mean, if I'm Cassville, I'm sending everybody after this.
Well, it looks like they're sending about 8. Hoyt gets the kick away. It's a good kick. Hernandez lets it bounce, and it takes a Cub bounce out across the 40-yard line to the 41. So that's a 40-yard kick with no return. So pretty good effort there by Jake Hoyt.
There'll be a minute 35 left in the third quarter as the Cassville offense comes back out on the field. A lot of time still to play. Cubs defense going to need to come up with another stop here.
Last time the Wildcats had the ball, they started, I believe, at the Cub 49, 48 or 49. They start this time at the 41. Difference is it's about 4 or 5 minutes of run off the clock.
Cubs defense so far bending but not breaking.
See if they can come up with another stop here. 1st and 10 Wildcats at the Cub 41. Here's a quick pass to the left. That's Ewing who makes the catch, a short gain of about 4.
Number 11, Marcus Young there for the tackle. Wildcats have kind of taken the momentum early in this first half. Ewing is down on the field still.
And that would be a big loss for the Wildcats. Ewing has been their leading receiver tonight, 5 catches for 53 yards. And he's on the field as they're taking a look at him. You hate to speculate what the injury might be. We're going to slip away, hear from some of our sponsors. We'll be back with more third quarter action after this timeout. Benji Finsky, Ryan McCullough back with you from Burrow Fowler Field. 1:24 left in the third. Cubs lead at 20-0. Ewing helped to the sideline. Hopefully he'll be back to action here tonight. Second down, and we'll call it 2nd and 6 from the 37. Empty backfield now. Rose back to pass, throws over the middle, has his man inside the Cub 20 down to the 15.
Finally brought down by 22, Connor Pointer. Wildcats liking to throw back towards the middle of the field here in the second half.
That was caught by Headlow, number 30. From the 37 to the 16, a gain of 21. And a first down for the Wildcats. They now have 7. And again, they are in the red zone, 1st and 10 from the 16-yard line. Rose will work under center, and he gives on a dive play up the middle. I believe that's Jacobson. We'll see who gets up from the bottom of the pile. It is Jacobson, and he's able to pound it down to the 11-yard line for a gain of 5.
Brought down by Porter Reed and Jake Hoyt.
2nd down and 5 from the 11. The clock rolls inside 30 seconds left here in the third quarter. Wildcats with 2 receivers to the near side, split backs behind Rose. Rose takes the snap. He's going to keep it himself, running left, and he's swallowed up as he gets inside the 10 down to about the 9 for a gain of 2.
Brought down by 26, Ryan Withnell.
And that's going to take us to the end of a rapidly played third quarter. Our score after 3, the Monett Cubs 20, the Cassville Wildcats nothing. We'll be back with fourth quarter action after this timeout.
We have more of our future Cubs. Football players and cheerleaders to introduce.
This whole second half's been played from mainly the
Brought to you by Wintech with facilities in Monett and Cassville. Wintech is an employee-owned company specializing in the building materials industry. We enter the final 12 minutes in this one. Monett leads 20-0, but the Wildcats threatening again as they have it at the Cub 9-yard line, facing 3rd down and 4.
I mean, if the Cubs got another stop here, it would be huge.
2 receivers wide to the right here as Rose sets up under center. He takes the snap and he gives to Wilson, who's hit down behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of a yard.
Brought down by 44, Isaiah Meeks. Big stop in the backfield there. There is there's just a little pile up here they're trying to get up. Looks like there's a player down for the Cubs here.
Official timeout.
Yeah, there is a Cubs player down at the 10. You know, what we were saying at the last commercial break, you know, you guys were talking about, hey, seniors, if you're ever going to play your guts out, now's the time to do it.
Absolutely. It's your last game on this field maybe, unless you really go on a run here. And you're in the fourth quarter against your biggest rival. So if you ever want to play your guts out and get that trophy back to Monett, now's the time.
Yeah, they don't call it the Berry County Brawl for nothing. And
Monett High School still in Lawrence County, though. So.
The high school itself, but this field's in Berry.
Yes, that is the interesting part of Monett. You know, have the line running right down that road that we see off there.
Yeah, Cleveland is the divider. However, the old high school here was in Berry County.
Monett's just unique like that. You know, 2 counties.
And that happens a lot, but usually it doesn't divide your buildings.
No. You got, you know, a couple schools on one side, a couple schools on another.
And it's unique. And where I worked, I was in Christian County, but also Stone County. So it's a different dynamic sometimes. Well, here we go. 4th down and 4 from the 10. And the Wildcats look like they're going to kick a field goal here.
I would watch the fake here.
I would too. Snap back, ball down, the kick up. It's high enough, it's long enough, and it is good. A 27-yard kick. And you know what? That's okay.
Well, if you're Cassville there, they took the points, try to get something going there.
A 27-yard kick, but it's still a 3-possession game. You know, even if you get 2 touchdowns and 2 two-point conversions, that would only get you to what? 19? 20 to 19? That's an interesting decision. Kind of caught me off guard.
Yeah, I was expecting a fake there for sure. They took the points. I think I would have done that more in the 3rd quarter and not the 4th.
That was Littlefield with a kick, a good kicker.
Because if they do that in the 3rd quarter that they had down here on the other side, right now they could have 6 points, 2-possession game.
True.
But they do it here in the 4th, and it's still a 3, so I think it came a possession a little too late there for the Wildcats.
Well, now if you're the Cubs,
ready for the onside kick.
You got to have an onside kick ready here. Recover the ball. Don't let it hit the ground too many times.
Just jump on. Don't worry about a return.
It's a squib kick that is covered at the 20. And that's Hildebrand to the 25 to the 30 and plunges his way out to about the 36. So the Cubs will have it.
Tripped up by, well, we're going to go number 50, Isaac Pickett.
So the Cubs will take that. 1st and 10 at their own 36. Leading by 17. The Cubs have it at their own 36, 1st and 10.
A drive here would be huge. Just moving the ball, getting first downs, letting the clock run.
Time for the Cubs to put the hammer down. 1st and 10 from the 36. Quarterback Madrid will keep it himself, and he works his way out across the 40 to about the 41. That'll be a gain of 5, maybe 6 yards.
Number 70, Nick Firo there for the tackle. Bringing up 2nd and manageable for the Cubs. 11 minutes now remaining in the game.
What do you equate on the clock to a first down? At least a minute and a half, 2 minutes that'll run?
I would say about 2 minutes off the clock there, and you know every second matters right now for both teams.
Young resets as the right wing. Madrid, quarterback keeper, up the middle he goes, and he could very well have a first down.
Caught him off guard there, took the quarterback sneak, and if that's short, it's going to be 3rd and very manageable. It'll be 3rd and inches, depending on the spot here.
They're going to put him down.
Just short.
Yeah. And that wouldn't be the worst thing.
No, it keeps the clock rolling, and then if you pick up a first down, you get eat up even more time.
Now, if it is a first down, remember that first down's brought to you by Sonic Drive-In. Come in after the game tonight for a burger, tots, and ice cold cherry limeade.
My first stop after every game. except for the Marshall one, because everything was closed at 11:30 at night when we got done.
That game lasted forever.
Marshfield loves to throw the football, and when they're not catching it, the clock stops.
Yeah, and penalties and so many flags that
Well,
night.
you had each team, they probably combined for almost 30 penalties, a lot of passing by Marshfield. We were there a while.
Yeah. Nice place.
It was. It
Nice
was very
place.
nice facility, very comfortable.
But it was a long night at Marshfield. Here comes the chain gang. We woke them up. Now they're coming out to the middle of the field. I'm going to say he's got the first down.
Like he might be. Oh, yeah, easily.
There we go.
Comfortable.
And you were down. First down, again sponsored by Sonic Drive-In. Ryan's first stop after tonight's contest.
Absolutely. My first stop every week. It'll just be a Friday tradition once the season ends.
1st and 10 Cubs. Let that clock run, fellas. Instead, it's a quick snap, and it'll be Madrid with a nice carry into Wildcat territory to the 46. That'll be a gain of nearly 8 yards.
Brought down by number 24, Bryson Jacobson.
And you know what? With that carry, Davin is over the 100-yard mark. He has 104 yards on 16 carries.
Madrid's had a good senior night for him.
Yeah, as Harvey came out.
Hoyt will check in. They have a good rotation with their two fullbacks there, so that way they both don't just get beat on constantly. Take some of the load off Harvey when you put Hoyt in. He has a little bit more speed than Harvey does as well.
Madrid on a long count, takes the snap. And he gives on a dive, and that was Hoyt, and Hoyt will pick up the first down.
He was brought down by number 17, Hernan Hernandez. Couple big first downs there for Monett.
Another Sonic first down, home of the Cubs half-price happy hour every day from 2 to 4 p.m. Well, that's a big play. That's back-to-back first downs, and whether they get points out of this drive or not, what it's doing is chewing that clock.
Those clocks the clock right now at the time is equivalent to a couple points. I mean, a touchdown here would be huge because that would really put you up 4 possessions.
Yeah.
That would all but do it.
They have it 1st and 10 from the Wildcat 41-yard line.
Madrid letting the clock roll here.
He really is. Good clock management. Here's a pitch to Hoyt, left side, cuts it up and dives inside to 40. A late flag comes out, and that's going to be a holding penalty, I think, against the Cubs.
Nick Firo was there for the tackle. Hoyt had done a nice job cutting it back up to not get strung out of bounds, but like you said, there is a holding call on the field. That'll back the Cubs up a little bit farther.
Yeah, that'll be a 10-yard penalty against Monett, and it's going to bring up 2nd and probably 21 because it's a spot foul. Wow, that's like 11 yards from the flag. You see that? The flag was at the 42. They've marked it at the Cubs 47. That's an 11-yard penalty from the spot and brings up first down and about 22.
Now you'll need a couple good plays if you're going to be able to get back to the chains for a first down.
I bet the Cubs keep it on the ground here.
Absolutely.
It's a dive play up the middle. It goes to, is that Harvey that plowed in there? And Harvey gets it back into Wildcat territory to about the 49 for a gain of 4.
67, DJ Glidewell there for the tackle.
And all the while, the clock keeps rolling. We approach the 8-minute mark. When the Cubs snap it, it's going to be somewhere around 7:50 here on 2nd down and 17. Hoyt will be the back this time. Madrid will turn, keep it himself, breaks a tackle, still on his feet, still driving inside the 35, and he'll be close to a first down.
He was finally brought down by number 17, Hernan Hernandez. Big play for the Cubs. Looks like there is a flag down, or is that a shoe? I think it's a flag.
17-yard carry if it stands.
If there's a flag on the Cubs here, it's really going to hurt.
It's a face
Face
mask.
mask. That's going to hurt the Wildcats big time.
It's not a personal foul, so it'll be a 5-yarder. And the Cubs do pick up a first down, sponsored by Sonic Drive-In. America's Drive-In for more than 60 years. Boy, Madrid is having himself a night. 121 yards tonight.
What a tough run there by him to get that first down.
Yeah, it looked like it was going to go for maybe 3 or 4, and he just broke a couple tackles and kept the legs churning. And made it all the way to the 31. You tack on another 5, and the Cubs have it at the Wildcat 26. Madrid turns, fakes the give, keeps it himself, and again a good run inside the 20 down to the 18. That'll be a gain of about 8 yards.
82, Canyon King there for the tackle. Madrid, another nice run. He's had himself a really good night.
I'm thinking the Cubs have just about taken the will out of this defense. They've really been pounding on them in this drive.
Well, a touchdown could be the final nail in the coffin.
2nd down and 2 for Monett from the 17-yard line, 18-yard line. Madrid takes the snap, back to pass, throws to the end zone, touchdown Cubs! Isaac Meeks scores from 18 yards out. $18-yard touchdown pass to Isaiah Meeks. And that will do it. I think that should be the nail in the coffin here. That touchdown brought to you by the law offices of Randall, Mastery, and Randall, your hometown professional law office specializing in estate and real estate law. The PAT upcoming. Snap back, ball down, the kick up. It's high enough, it's long enough, and it is good. And that extra point sponsored by Home Shield Pest Control, providing a safe defense from pests in your home or business. Home Shield Pest Control is your quality, affordable pest service provider. The Cubs lead it 27-3. Well,
I don't think Cassville saw that one coming. That was a nice call by the Cubs offensive coordinator. He's also their head coach. You know, great call. And, you know, do a little play action there. Coach Lewis drawing it up. Work to perfection. You have a receiver like Meeks who's listed at 6'6", and you just throw it up to him and let him make a play.
Well, the Cubs have thrown the ball 4 times tonight. They have 2 touchdowns, 3 completions and 2 touchdowns.
Only 1 touchdown pass by Madrid. Give Harvey his credit.
That's right. Beautiful play there, and the Cubs are up by 24.
Their biggest lead of the season against their arch rival.
This upcoming kickoff sponsored by Farm Bureau agent Lance Metlock. He's for Missouri, and he's for the Monett Cubs. Give him a call at 417-236-0422. Well, that should all but ice this one, but there's still 6.5 minutes left here. There's still some work to do, but the Cubs up by 24.
And what a ball by Madrid. He put it right in the chest of Meeks there.
Chavez boots it high, end over end, not relatively long. It hits at the 20, fielded at the 21, return across the 25 to the 30, and that's where the Wildcats will have it 1st and 10. Well, that was another good drive.
Brought down by number 2, Miles Young at 22, Connor Pointer. A really good drive where they ate up a lot of clock and finished it off with a touchdown.
Yeah, I believe they started that one somewhere around their 35 or 40, and they put together 3 or 4 first downs. Oh, and I need to give Monett credit for another first down on that scoring play.
And this will make Coach Lewis 1-0 against Cassville if the score stands like we think it will.
Here's Rose that's hit in the backfield, and down he goes.
And that's Meeks making another big play, bringing him down the backfield. He's had a really good night as well, his senior night.
Loss of a yard by Bodie Rose, who's had a tough night running it. He's got 14 yards on 7 carries.
We're going to roll just under 6 minutes here when the ball is snapped.
Second down and 11 Rose back to pass, throws over the middle, has his man for a first down, out to the 43.
Brought down by 32, Dylan Gorman, and number 22, Connor Pointer.
Gain of 14 for Hadlow. Wildcats with their 8th first down of the contest. They have it at their own 43, and the clock rolls with 5:40 left here in the fourth quarter. Hadlow with a couple catches tonight for 35 yards. Rose again back to pass, throws over the middle, has Wilson, big play down to the Cub 25.
Brought down by 22, Connor Pointer, but a big play for the Wildcats there.
Gain of 32 and a first down.
First down yardage for the Wildcats.
Back-to-back completions. Wildcats still with some fight with them as they get it in to Cub territory down to the 25-yard line, 1st and 10. Linebackers need to get a little bit deeper drop here on these pass plays. Rose back to pass, rolls to the right, throws to the right. Pass is incomplete as is broken up.
Nice job there by Eric Chavez to get in and break up the pass. 5:09 now remaining in the game.
Still important for this defense to play hard and come up with stops.
You want to take all the fight they have left out of them, because if they score here, they're going to go for an onside. They're going to try and get every bit of life they possibly can. It's never over till it's over.
That's right, as Yogi Berra would say. 2nd and 10 for the Wildcats. Rose back to pass again. He rolls to the right, throws to the right, and it's broken up, and a flag comes out again all the way across the field.
I believe that's holding the guy that was covering Harvey. Harvey slipped through, and they grabbed onto his shoulder pads to try and save a sack.
The incompletion would bring up 3rd and 10.
There was a penalty marker on the play. Holding. Offense.
It's going to be a 10-yard penalty from the spot of the infraction. After that last touchdown, good tradition, I guess, on this sideline, where a Cub was chasing a Wildcat with a paddle in his hands.
Oh, yes. For everyone that doesn't know, Cassville brought back the corporal punishment rule where you can paddle kids in school. And so a nice little joke there by the student section.
And tonight the Cubs are paddling the Wildcats. Is that the...
It's been all Cubs as they've paddled the Wildcats, especially the Cubs defense, paddled the Wildcats offense all day.
2nd down, even though the yard marker says 3rd, it's 2nd down and long here. Rose will throw wide right, and onto the track it falls incomplete.
This will bring up 3rd down now.
Yeah, it should be 3rd down, even though they're going to move the yard marker to 4, and that is not right. It is 3rd down. Now they got it right. 3rd down and, well, a bundle. They the ball at the 39. They need to get to the Cubs 16. So 3rd and 23 here as Rose drops back to pass. He'll throw deep right side, and the pass is incomplete, but 2 flags come out. Well, I didn't see that.
It's going to be a pass interference on somebody.
It will be. Well, we're going to see what the call is here. It's on the Wildcat sideline. Not that that should make any difference, but you never know. Well, we'll see what the white hat says here. A holding against the defense. So that was before the ball was in the air or as the play unfolded. So that'll be from the line of scrimmage of about a 10-yard penalty then. It'll remain 3rd down. That's what it looks like. 3rd penalty on the Cubs tonight. Instead of 3rd and 23. It's 3rd and 13. Clock stopped with 4:53 left here. Rose with split backs behind him. Takes the snap, back to pass, throws right. Pass incomplete. Hernandez unable to come up with it. And it'll bring up 4th down.
Good coverage by number 3, Evan Witt.
Rose now 10 of 24 passing. And undoubtedly be throwing again here on 4th down and 13. Wide receiver split left and right. Split backs behind the quarterback, Rose. Rose straight back. He'll throw deep, right side, one-on-one down there. Caught! Touchdown, Wildcats! It's Hernandez with a catch. A touchdown of 29 yards. Hernandez with the touchdown, 29 yards. And the Wildcats draw closer. Snap back, ball down, the kick up. It's high enough, it's long enough, and it is good. 4:42 left here in the 4th quarter. Monett still leads it. It's Cubs 27, the Wildcats 10. Back with the final 4 minutes after this timeout. Back at Burl Fowler, it's 27-10, and undoubtedly here the Wildcats will be going for the onside kick. And here comes that onside kick, and it's fielded by Baden, I believe.
Yeah, it's 45, Diego Baden there.
Well, that was a good onside kick, perfectly executed, but the Cubs' hands team in to recover it.
It did a perfect 10 yards. Baden did a nice job going up and getting it, and then just following on it, not trying to make anything out of it.
Littlefield, a good kicker for the Wildcats. Got a pair of good kickers tonight. So now Monett with the ball. The Wildcats have all 3 of their timeouts, down by 17. Still a 3-possession game. Cubs have it at the Wildcat 49. Madrid takes the snap, and he'll give to Harvey. Harvey off left guard, a good first down run as he's able to get down to the 41 for a gain of 8.
Finally stood up by a group of Wildcats there. Big gain for Harvey, nice tough running.
Boy, a perfect play on first down. You gain 8. Now you have 3 downs to get 2 yards.
And you get to soak up every last second.
And when will the Wildcats start calling their timeouts?
I think after this first down they start using them.
From the 41, here come the Cubs. Madrid takes the snap. He'll keep it himself, and he'll have the first down as he gets inside the Wildcat 35. That first down brought to you by Sonic Drive-In. Gain of 8 for Madrid. He's up to 137 yards tonight. The 10th first down for the Cubs. Yeah, now the clock rolls inside 3:40. Cubs in no hurry whatsoever here.
No need.
From the 33, Madrid sets the offensive line. He'll take the snap and keep it himself. Running hard off left guard, able to get down to the 30 for a gain of 3.
How about the night Madrid has had?
Yeah, 2 scores and 140 yards. Easily his best night.
Well, they've made it hard for us on player of the game because you've had multiple players. You have had Meeks, you've had Madrid, you had Young start the game with 2 turnovers.
Yeah.
You've had Hildebrand play well. Harvey's played well.
A lot of contributions tonight.
From the seniors, most importantly.
2nd down and 7. The Wildcats did not call a timeout here. Madrid will give on a dive play. That was Hoyt up the middle. He goes. Able to get down to about the 27 for a gain of 3.
Brought down by Jake Anthony's.
And again, the clock continues to roll. 3rd down and 4 for the Cubs. Harvey brings the play in from the sideline. Play clock still with 20 seconds on it. So we'll be well inside 2 minutes left when the Cubs snap this one. Madrid under center. Takes the snap, and he'll keep it himself and dives forward for a 1st down to the 20. A gain of 7, and the Cubs drive continues.
Jake Anthony's with the tackle. That'll bring up a 1st down with 1:40 remaining in the game. As soon as the chains are set, the clock will begin to move again. It doesn't look like Cassville is going to use their timeouts here.
That 1st down sponsored by Monett Sonic Drive-In, home of the Cubs half-price happy hour every day from 2 to 4. And now the clock will roll as the chains are set. 1st and 10 Cubs from the 21. Madrid will give on a dive play. I believe that's Harvey. This way it's Hoyt this time. Hoyt powers forward to the 16-yard line for a gain of 5.
Looks like Harvey's about to check in for Hoyt here. They do a good job rotating those guys.
Yeah, here comes Harvey, and out goes Hoyt. A good tandem for the Cubs. And we are 60 seconds away from the Cubs' 3rd victory of the year.
A big victory for them. Beating Cassville, and then they're also their biggest win so far, lead-wise.
Help them in district rankings as well. 2nd down. Ball given to Harvey. Off left tackle he goes. DePaul going forward for the Cubs, and that may be another 1st down.
I mean, at this point for the Cubs, you can take a knee if you want to.
Yeah, this is going to take us to the end of that game. That was enough for a 1st down and could very well be the final play of the contest because they're going to have to, nope, they reset the play clock to 40.
Now the clock will roll.
And the Cubs don't need to snap it again. And they're not going to. I think it's time to celebrate if you're a Monett Cub fan, because they don't need to snap it again, and they'll walk away with a well-earned victory. The Monett Cubs improve to 3-6. Wildcats fall to 4-5. The Cubs win it 27-10. Celebrating senior night here at Burrow Fowler, the Cubs come away with an impressive 17-point victory. Ryan and I will slip away, and when we return, it'll be time for the Cubs Cafe postgame show right here on KKBL, part of the Talon Sports Network. So, Cubs Cafe thanks you for staying tuned and wishes everyone a safe trip home, offering breakfast fuel for the Monett Cubs. Be sure to stop in to Cubs Cafe for a great breakfast in the morning. Benji Finsky alongside my broadcast partner Ryan McCullough, our producing engineer Erwin Perez. With us tonight here at Burrow Fowler, the Cubs surprise the Cassville Wildcats. They win at 27-10 to improve to 3-6, and more importantly, create some momentum going into district play next week. With a look at tonight's scoring summary, I'm going to turn it over to Ryan.
Well, in the first quarter of the game, we had Josh Harvey throw a 30-yard touchdown pass to Hildebrand. Harvey took on direct snap and threw it up. Hildebrand caught it on the 10, took it the rest of the way. That was created by a turnover by a fumble recovered by Marcus Young on the Cassville Wildcats' first possession on offense. And then in the second quarter at the 6:11 mark, Madrid had a 49-yard touchdown run, and that made the score 13-0. Also in the second quarter, at the 4:11 mark, Madrid had a 1-yard touchdown run. Extra point was good, making it 20-0. Then later on in the third quarter, at the 3:58 mark, the Cubs had a critical goal line stand that held the Wildcats out of the end zone, keeping the score 20-0 late in the third. Then in the fourth quarter, Cassville at the 11:25 mark had a 27-yard field goal, making the score 20-3. Also in the fourth quarter, the 6:36 mark, Madrid had an 18-yard touchdown pass to Meeks that sealed the deal, making it 27-3. Cassville putting up one more for the game ended at the 4:42 mark. Hernandez had a 29-yard touchdown catch. Extra point was good, making it 27-10, your final score.
Thank you, Ryan. The Cubs improved to 3-6. The Wildcats fall to 4-5 on the season. The Berry County Brawl goes to the Monett Cubs this year as they win it by 17. We'll slip away here from some of our outstanding sponsors. We'll be back with more of the Cubs Cafe postgame after this timeout. over time, but the actions of players, coaches, and fans, well, they leave lasting impressions. The next time you attend a high school game, think of how you will be remembered. Be sure to choose good sportsmanship. This message brought to you by Access Family Care with locations in Aurora, Mount Vernon, Cassville, Neosho, and in Joplin. The Cubs win it 27-10, and that breaks a six-game losing streak to the Wildcats. The last time the Cubs had won in this series was in the 2016 district. So, that's long enough for the Cubs, and they broke that streak tonight with an impressive 27-10 victory. Ryan, what are your thoughts, of this game?
It's very good to see Monett back in the win column in this game. They controlled the game. Early on, after the touchdown, Cassville kind of started to get some momentum, and Monett, just like the McDonald County game, shut it down, took control, and they owned this game. And it really wasn't ever in doubt. There was a little bit in the second half where Cassville kind of made a push, and the Cubs defense squashed it. Cubs paddled the Wildcats 27-10.
There you go, 27-10. And this just one of many games in Southwest Missouri. You might want to run down the scoreboard as well.
Absolutely. Carthage Tigers playing Willard this week. It's 48-7 to start the fourth quarter there. Camdenton and Glendale. Camdenton 29, Glendale 22 in the third. A big game in the Big 8. We have Nevada and Seneca off air. We were just talking about that Seneca offense being really powerful. Nevada puts up 49 points against the Indians. Hold the Indians to 14.
Wow.
Late, that game is under a minute to play. Tigers are going to hold on to win a big one there. Webb City 56, Branson 14. Mount Vernon 21, Reed Springs 21 in the fourth. That game could go to overtime. That's a big game in the east side of the Big 8. Republic 21, Carl Junction 10 in the third, Rogersville 31, Aurora 7. Halftime. McDonald County 32, East Newton 7 in the third. In the fourth quarter, under 2 minutes to play, Marshfield 38, Catholic 7. Central 30, Forsyth 11 in the fourth. Diamond 35, Clever 0 in the fourth. And then Lockwood in 8-man football. We have Lockwood 52, Rich Hills 6 in the third.
Love that 8-man football.
Yes, sir.
So tonight, inside the district, Rogersville's defeating Aurora. Marshfield's beating Springfield Catholic. McDonald County's beating East Newton. Monett beat Cassville. Did you have a Hillcrest Parkview score?
I did not see it on Ozone, but so I'm looking back through that right now.
And
it's on there, but there's no score. I'm going to check Max Preps real quick.
What about Bolivar Kickapoo?
Oliver 7, Kickapoo 12 final. So Kickapoo wins that one.
Kickapoo wins. So that could throw a wrench into some things here as well, because Rogersville just on the heels of Bolivar in that 2-3 slot. So we'll see what happens there. But, this time tomorrow we'll know where the Cubs are going. We do know that the Cubs will be traveling, but will they be traveling as a 5 seed, a 6 seed? We'll wait and see. It looks probably like a 5 seed now.
It does, and, I think you like that a lot more than where you were just 5 weeks ago, looking at maybe being just the 7 seed in the district and playing the 2 seed. Now you're in a more favorable spot, a more favorable position to win, and, try and put a run together.
You never know. Of course, get hot this time of the season, good things can happen. The Cubs with a big win tonight and won a game down, with Nevada and Seneca. Nevada flexing their muscles against the Indians.
They really were, and this time of year sometimes it's just about who's healthy. And, the Cubs are in a pretty good position health-wise, don't have a lot of injuries, and sometimes that's what it comes down to in these games is who's the healthiest come playoff time. Yeah,
during your tenure here at Monett, there was a year where the pieces were in place, but there were just injury after injury after injury that cost the Cubs.
Yes, and, we lost a heartbreaker to Cassville in district that year in a game where we held them under 20 points, but when you don't have your 3 running backs, it's kind of hard to win when you run that style offense, the triple option.
Well, a lot of fun here at Monett tonight for the Cubs as they win at 27-10. As we said, they improved to 3-6. And from where this team started this season to where they're finishing the regular season, totally different team than we saw early on.
Absolutely, and they played with a chip on their shoulder in this game, and here towards the end of the year, they played inspired football, and they played as a team. They were playing very disciplined.
Well, this was a team that lost their first 5 games.
And they could have, wrapped it up at that point, been sorry for themselves and kind of quit, and they didn't. They fought through it, and they got some good wins, and they were competitive in other games. The Marshall game, they were competitive, just a little undisciplined that game. They corrected those mistakes, and that's what led them to some wins down the stretch.
Well, when you take a look at it, the Reed Spring game was 20-0, but it was a much closer game than that. The Mount Vernon game was totally disjointed, played over 72 hours or 48 hours, whenever it was. Monett had every opportunity to win that game. And then, as you said, the Marshville game. So you take a look at that. You get a couple wins out of those 3. You're looking at a season that's 5-4 instead of 3-6.
Well, the Reed Springs game, you're in a new system, new offense, brand new head coach. They didn't have all the stuff put in. And the times that Reed Springs scored were self-inflicted wound by the Cubs. I think if you play Reed Springs today, it's a lot more favorable matchup, and it could be a very good game.
Yeah, you remember that game against Reed Spring. The second or maybe third play from scrimmage, Reed Springs ripped off about a 70-yard run and then scored early. And then after that, it was kicking game issues and special teams. So that was a problem in that game. The penalties at Marshfield, as you said, they've cleaned up a lot of these things. And this is a team that has won 3 out of 4.
Yeah, and I think part of that is because of them cleaning up that stuff. If they don't clean up the penalties, maybe this game's a lot closer. Today they won the penalties. They had less than Cassville. Cassville let that kind of shoot themselves in the foot. They won the turnover battle that they weren't winning at the beginning of the year. And they won field position and clock management that they also did at the end of the year. And they finished drives, which is something they struggled with last year and the start of this year.
Their second highest point output of the season. They had 28 at East Newton, aided by a pick 6 in that one. They had 27 tonight, so their offense coming around as well. We await Coach Lewis here in the postgame. We're going to slip away here from some of our sponsors. We'll be back with more of the Cubs Cafe postgame after this timeout. off trying to chase down members of the coaching staff for a post-game interview. That gives Clint a chance to join me once again. Clint, you brought the Cubs some pretty good luck tonight.
Yeah, I guess so. It was a good ball game. Them seniors that donned the purple and gold sure tried real hard. The whole team tried real hard. That was a team win right there to bring this back to the Lawrence County side of things.
You noticed, you being a football player yourself earlier in your career, you noticed that interior line play for the Cubs and how well they did tonight.
Yeah, they were bullying them around. When we first come here, I even said to you, I said, well, these are our kids and those are their kids. Their kids look pretty small. We ought to have this. And then here comes some dogs for Cassville. But I want to tell you that number 77, Isaac Tickner. That kid's a dog over at left tackle. He was snatching up the end and pushing him back to the weak linebacker, and he was 10 yards in Cassville's backfield every time. And I'm sure that allowed Madrid a little extra running room because he sure was running to that left side pretty openly.
Tickner's an anchor all season long, and he, along with his colleagues up front tonight, they really, especially in the second half, you could tell that they had worn on the Wildcats, and the Cubs able to put together a couple sustained drives, kind of seal this win. But hard-hitting game. Defense played really solid tonight for the Cubs. 3 first-half turnovers really made it tough on the Wildcats.
Yeah, it did. And, they got them down there in short field and that 4th and goal. And they'd been winning the field position battle all that third quarter, and they got them down there to the, 10 or 12, and they kicked it, and we were worried about a fake. Well, at that point, wonder why you just don't go for it. If you miss it, you still win the field position. It's first and 10 on the 12 Cubs, and instead they let their foot off the gas a little bit and kicked the extra or field goal, and was able to have a kickoff and reset field position and brought us back out to 35 or so. And after that, it was the Bear Cubs was in the driver's seat.
Well, and credit the Wildcats in that third quarter. That entire third quarter was played in Monett's end of the field. So Cassville was winning the field position, but they got into the red zone a couple times, and the Cubs held them.
Mm-hmm.
And then when they flipped the field again in the fourth quarter, they were in the red zone. Instead of going for it on fourth down, they kicked that field goal. And it was still a 3-possession game at that point. But credit the Cubs defense. They bent, but they didn't break for the most part. They gave up that one late score. And offense was pretty consistent throughout. A couple big scoring plays, which we haven't seen a whole lot of. One from a tailback and one from a quarterback. Overall, just a really good effort.
Yeah, and we don't know where next week falls for our Monett Cubs. We do have an update with Hillcrest Parkview. It looks like 31-34 Parkview with 6 minutes left to go in the fourth. That implications will have on this game. And it's real simple if you're a Monett Cub football player. Win, you go on. Lose, you play basketball.
Yep.
It's real simple, and for your seniors, this is it. Unless there's something that we're not seeing in the future happening, even if Monett advances, they're probably going to be a road team all the way through.
Yeah.
So grab a little bit of this turf and stick it in your helmet and take it home with you, because this is it. As a former player that was in the same shoes as these guys, it's real surreal, but this is it for 99.9% of football players all across the country tonight and tomorrow night and in the coming weeks. That's it. They're only about 0.1% will go on to play college ball. So this is it, and we hope Monett can sure maybe put 3 or 4 weeks, and we can go to, where do we go?
Well, just
Columbia.
Well, I go 1 week at a time.
Well, yeah.
I just go wherever Sammy tells me to go. But here's the key in Monett's seed. If Monett is seeded 1 spot lower than McDonald County, they'll leapfrog them.
Mm-hmm.
So it looks like that may happen. But if McDonald County, for whatever reason, would move up and Marshfield would drop down, Monett would be slotted in this spot, which is 6. So I would say at worst Monett will be a 6 seed. At best they'll be a 5 seed.
So it's Mack or Rogersville.
Yeah, and we'll have to see what's going on there.
And Rogersville's got Aurora, it looks like, handedly.
Mm-hmm.
Mack eating Newton, I don't guess we've seen that
Mack, I believe at last report, was over East Newton. Marshfield and Springfield Catholic the same. So 3, 4, and 5 may not change a whole lot in district play.
Yeah, 32-7 is what Ozone reported, but it still says half here on Ozone.
Yep.
So I'd say Max got that, should be handily have that took care of.
An interesting district, to say the least. We're going to slip away as we wait for Coach Lewis to make his way. Well, actually, here he is.
Yes, sir.
So we'll go ahead and talk it over with him. And as he gathers himself here, I just want to remind you that Coach's interview is brought to you by Cubs Cafe, a proud sponsor of Monett Cubs football, located at 202 Highway 37. They always have their purple and gold on at Cubs Cafe. Well, congratulations, man.
Thank you.
What a game.
Man, what a game.
Telling you, we thought your effort against McDonald County was top-notch, but this one took it to a different level.
I wish we could play like this every day. No, you know what? The kids played hard, man, and the kids realized the magnitude of the game. I didn't have to tell them. They knew. Senior night, seniors had high expectations of what they wanted at a senior night, and you got to see the result of that.
I thought it was really, really cool that you got seniors in every starting spot, and. You even had Aviana kicking the ball a couple of times.
Absolutely.
Which, I tip my cap to you for that.
Thank you.
And I think that had a lot to do with the attitude and the spirit of your team.
I agree. And we've said it all year. We've been built by our seniors. We're going to, live with them through thick, through thin, regardless of what's happening. And, tonight you got to see that. Tonight you got to see, what that feels like and what that looks like. And, we were 0-5. We were 0-5 with, not a lot to look up to, and now we're 3-3 in the Big 8 West. Fourth place in the Big 8 West. As tough a conference as there is in Southwest Missouri, and you look at that and you go, that's not bad.
Well, no, and winners of 3 of your last 4, in a season that you could have packed it in. At 0-5, you could have packed it in. Your seniors didn't let that happen. Your coaching staff didn't let that happen. So let's talk a little bit about both of those. Let's talk about your coaching staff first. We don't get an opportunity to say a whole lot about your assistants, but I'd like to give you a minute or two just to discuss what those guys do for you and the team.
Everything. Those guys are the ins and outs of everything. From getting practice, ready, to making sure the little things are done correctly, to taking my crazy mastermind plans and things that I want done and, making it happen. And that's them saying, hey, this is the expectation, this is what we're doing, and riding with it. And I'm blessed. Coach Ernest is awesome. He gets those kids ready to play every week. Regardless of what it looks like on the field, they're ready to play. And, and then Coach P is getting better and better with the DBs. You're seeing our DBs from tonight to where they were week 1 are not the same DBs. And so, that's him. Coach Wilson, the D-line, is getting better and better. They're getting more aggressive, more technical. Coach Neville's doing an awesome job with the wing backs. Obviously, with the 2 seniors in Connor and Marcus, those guys are asked to do a lot of stuff on the field, and they do a great job. Coach Lewis is, you see him every play, at the end of every drive. Coach Lewis comes over and sits down with Madrid, and you can see Madrid's gotten better each week. Well, I test a lot of that to Coach Lewis, just saying, hey, this is what the expectation is, this is what you got to do. And Coach Withnell gets those receivers, the speed tackles, to buy in. And right now, it's awesome. Right now our staff is just, they're doing a great job, and they're excited, and I love it.
Take a minute to talk about your seniors.
Oh, man. These seniors, it's one of those things where, I feel like all coaches say, well, man, I wish, especially when you're your first year, I wish I had these seniors longer. But I truly do. I do. I wish I had these seniors. I wish they were juniors, sophomores, freshmen. Something that I just knew, coming back next season, I have them. But the beautiful thing is that without these seniors this year, at 0-5, who knows what it would have looked like.
Yep.
And these seniors refuse to quit. They refuse to, settle. And these seniors are the reason that we finished 3-6. These seniors are the reason that we won tonight. And, it's a testament to them, and it's a testament to their hard work, dedication, and refusal to just quit.
And I know life doesn't come with a rewind button, and Lord knows I would love for it to have that. But as you look back to this season, you go back to Reed Springs, you go back to Mount Vernon, you go back to Marshfield, if you play those teams again, the outcome could be a whole lot different.
Yeah, I mean, we can always say that for sure. I mean, it's one of those things where I feel like all three of those games, though, made us better. I mean, they taught our kids a lot, and it's going back even just the Mount Vernon game. And we felt like we left some stuff on the table there, but that kind of hurt and disappointment got us back the next week to, strive to be better. And then same with Marsh. We felt like there were some opportunities missed, but again, we just, we learned from it. We've gotten better from it. I mean, we had 15 penalties in Marshfield. We had 2 tonight.
Yep.
So, I mean, that's something that you learned in that game because we believe that those penalties, whether good, bad, or indifferent, cost us the game. And so, now we're playing a cleaner brand of football, and, we're having a little more success doing it.
Through it all, you didn't turn the ball over very much. And tonight you win the turnover battle again. You got one early, a fumble recovery, and 2 interceptions. Pretty clean, and I think you only had like 2 or 3 penalties tonight. And those turnovers, and you run an offense that's complicated. There's a lot of movement, and a lot of
a lot of moving parts to it for sure.
But I think, and that probably goes with having experienced kids know how to take care of the ball,
without question.
So let's talk a little bit now about your defense. Your defense played awesome again tonight. Smothered the Wildcats, especially in the first half.
Yeah, no, defense played well. I mean, that's Coach Ernest. I mean, he gets them ready, he gets them fired up. He gets them, they're believing his message. They're believing what he's saying. I mean, we started off with seniors out there, brought in, guys that have been, kind of contributing as the starters all season. Went back to the seniors, and you really just didn't see much of a drop-off. And that's exciting. It shows a little more of the depth that we have, which, is obviously a good thing, especially at this time of year when, we're a little banged up.
Well, it looks like now potentially a 5 seed in district play.
Yeah, it's looking like it, depending on, I don't know how the rest of the games came out tonight. I haven't had a chance to look yet, but.
So that would be Logan Rogersville, Marshfield. Who won that game?
Marshfield beat Logan Rogersville.
Okay, so Marshfield would leapfrog Logan if they stayed that way.
Yeah.
So it looks potentially like a trip to Rogersville. Then.
That's kind of what we were thinking, and then a nice, depending on how that game goes, potentially a nice drive to West Plains. You know
what? You'd take a drive to West Plains right now.
Oh, without question.
Yeah.
Without question. If our kids come out and play like they did tonight, we'll do whatever.
I've covered football and played football before that, but I've covered football for years and years and years, and I have not seen a district like this ever. I mean, totally balanced, and no one just out there with an 8-0 or 7-1 record.
Yeah. No, we feel like the district for us this season is fairly favorable, which is, a good thing as we continue to move forward. And now we'll see. I mean, the nice thing is records are 0-0. Opportunities are there for us to be had. But we're going on the road and away from Bro Fowler, we haven't exactly played our best football. And so for us, that's going to be the name of the game is making sure we come out and play well for 4 quarters on the road. Well,
now what you're looking for is 1-game winning streaks.
100%. 1-0 each week. That's what we talk about.
Yep, and that, and you string some together, and who knows what can happen. And like you said, a win next week, and you'd be heading potentially to West Plains. Nothing wrong with that.
No, nothing at all.
Ryan might have to skip a class though, but
yeah, that might be a little bit of drive.
But at the institution he's going at, they'll never know.
No,
So, hey, Coach, congratulations on a big win.
Thank you. I appreciate it, guys. Thank you very much.
We'll slip away, wrap it up after we come back.
Sorry, it's a little sweaty. I apologize.
Nicely done, bud.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Congratulations. Bro Fowler just about ready to wrap it up here in Monett. The Cubs win at 27-10, and it's on to districts. And a potential matchup with Logan Rogersville. If they finish their victory tonight at Aurora, they'll be 5-4 on the season, and Monett will be 3-6. Brian, this is a team that could have very well packed it in week 6, but they didn't. Had a come-from-behind victory at East Newton to win it by a couple scores. Got some momentum, beat Mack County, and then came back to win tonight. 3 out of 4, they're trending in the right direction.
Yeah, and they showed their resilience, being able to do that because they didn't necessarily have easy games. Mack County, they're a pretty solid football team, and Cassville's been pretty solid this year. They've had, 4 wins so far in the season.
Mm-hmm.
So they're not an easy team to beat, especially after the Lamar game and the Seneca game. They could have just packed it up, but they showed their resilience and, the leadership of the seniors to really keep going and go get those wins and keep fighting.
Monett's losses in the West this year, Seneca, Lamar, and Nevada.
And those are 3 reasonable losses. You had Nevada just drum the Indians. So that Nevada, Nevada won pretty comfortably against Monett, but they just beat Seneca pretty much the exact same.
I understand Nevada losing to Lamar, but they got tripped up by McDonald County. Like you said, McDonald County's no slouch either. There's just some good teams up and down that. So the Cubs finished 3-3 in the Big 8 West, and winners of 3 of their last 4. And now it's on the districts. And, to be honest, the way Missouri does playoffs now, it's almost like a basketball tournament. I mean, it really is. Everybody gets in. You're basically seeded when you roll into districts. Well, you are. And everybody has a chance to win a state title. So it's, to steal a Jim Valvano phrase, it's win in advance,
Well, if you look at, the Cubs 2012 team, they lost like 4 regular season games, and then they went to the semifinals. They put it together, went on a run. Mount Vernon had that happen about 6 years ago now, where they lost about 4 in the regular season. They went all the way to the state title. So, now it's just about staying healthy and play good football.
Yeah, and maintain momentum. If anything, Monett has momentum going into week 10.
The Indians, last year, they were an average football team out of the Big 8, and they went on a run. And then they've had a very good team this year.
Well, right now it's all, we'll wake up in the morning, we'll check district seeds, see where Monett's heading, and we'll be there to call it, wherever it is, whether it's Marshfield or Rogersville or wherever it might be. And I wouldn't mind a trip to West Plains, Heck, we'll take a drive.
Hey, if the Cubs are winning, we'll go anywhere.
Absolutely. Well, that's going to wrap it up here tonight. But before we go, I want to remind everyone to catch the Coach Lewis Show next Friday evening right here on 95.9 FM. KKBL Sammy Clapper to discuss tonight's victory over Cassville, as well as preview the upcoming district game. The Coach Lewis Show can be heard just ahead of our pregame show right here on KKBL Radio. As we come to the end of tonight's broadcast, I would like to thank all the fine people here at Monett High School for their help and their hospitality this evening, this year, forever. Those guys have been great to us for as long as I've been doing this. A special thanks also goes out to all of our fine sponsors who make our broadcast possible. We cannot do this without your support. So Cub fans, get out there and support these local businesses and let them know how much that they are appreciated. And finally, a big thank you to all of our listeners out in Cub Nation. Thanks for being with us each and every Friday night during the season. Just a reminder that our next football game will be coming your way next Friday evening at a location to be determined. Pre-game set to begin at 6:25 with kickoff scheduled at 7 p.m. Once again, our final score from the stadium tonight, Monett 27, Cassville 10. For my broadcast partner Ryan McCullough, our producer engineer Erwin Perez, for Clint, thanks for being with us tonight. This is Benji Finsky saying thanks for following the Cubs, and good night from Monett.